I got the tickets in the short, so I won't pull them out.
What's up, everybody out there, all you potheads and political junkies? It's Jeremiah here. It's another Friday. Just a little late starting today. Lots going on in the studio. Although I'm sitting here by myself at the moment, I'm very lonely because our co-host, John Burfellow, still hasn't made it to the show today. Not sure if he's going to be here or not. He's been AWOL for weeks. Where is he? Where's Johnny B? So I'm going to be complaining about him through the whole entire show if I don't have a co-host. So I don't know what I'm going to do, really. So if anybody's in the neighborhood that wants to come down and co-host the show with me, that would... Oh, wait a second. Who's this? Oh, wait a second.
Look who's back, baby. Look who's back.
It's Macho Camel.
Baby.
Macho Camel's here in the studio.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh.
And he's wearing a Speedo.
Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that.
The Macho Camel Speedo.
Oh, look at that.
So, Macho Camel. He's gonna be flying with me. I need a co-host. You're like that. You're the co-host fairy. You're like the co-host fairy. When somebody calls, you play that.
Sit down and get my thoughts here, man. Wow, look at this place.
So when I play that music, you just show up anywhere, right? Like
that's how it works.
I could play it 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
3 in the morning, you just show up at my apartment.
Well, I don't know. That's gonna cost you some money, bro.
If you're wearing those Speedos.
That's it. It's all about the Speedo. Somebody has to rock the Speedo.
Hilarious. So Boss Lissa's on the boards, taking care of things. We looking good? Awesome. So good day to all of you out there. Another Friday here at Pot TV. It's going to be a big show. Reason Macho Camel's in the house is because we have some big news about the Legends Valley Music Festival.
Oh yeah, brothers and sisters. Oh yeah.
And if you don't know what the Legends Valley Music Festival is, you haven't been watching this show very much for the past year. But we went to the Legends Valley Music Festival. I guess it's in Lake Cowichan. Is it actually Lake Cowichan official?
It is Lake Cowichan. That's what it is. That's the town itself, Lake Cowichan. It is
beautiful Lake Cowichan.
It is the Lake Town Event Center is where it's held.
I thought it might have been Yubo.
Well, it's close to Yubo, and I think some people come from Yubo.
Probably.
But
not very many people come from Yubo.
I see. But they're fans. They are fans.
I would imagine they must be. So, of course, you guys last year, it was the first annual, wasn't it? Or was
it was the first annual last year.
Yeah. And
we had a great time.
We got some camera action going on here. Then the hat, you want the hat in there?
Oh, come on. This is I rock this look. I rock this. And if you notice, the camel has been missing a little bit of facial hair.
I was going to ask, where's the handlebar stash?
Well, there was a little too many ladies chasing the camel, so I thought I would give it a different look. You know what I mean, brother? Sometimes the facial hair is all it is. You know what I mean?
The Velcro. The ladies don't like the Velcro?
Well, I think they like it too much.
Oh, I see. In order to get rid of them, you
know, it's summertime. I needed a couple of days off, if you know what I mean.
Well, that is the macho way, is it not?
Oh, it is the macho way.
So okay, we're going to get into the Legends Valley Festival and what's going on. But I mean, I can just say it at the top of the show here. It's now the High Times Cannabis Cup Legends Valley Music Festival.
Yes, sir. It is now the High Times Vancouver Island Cannabis Cup at Legends Valley Music Festival.
Which is very, very cool because High Times puts together a great package of a show.
They really do, brother. Yeah. They really do.
I've been to their events before in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And wait, I went to one in the States, I thought? I can't even remember now. But I like the High Times guys. They put together a good show, so it's a cool combination, you guys.
They are good guys. They are good guys. And, you know, they made sure they contacted us, and they really wanted to. You know, we had it pretty big last year, and it was growing this year for sure. But now getting High Times on board, this is going to be the largest Canna event ever in Canada. We're expecting anywhere over 25 to 30,000 people are going to be there through the gates over 4 days. Can you imagine? That's a lot of people.
Over 4 days, that's pretty huge.
Over 4 days, and it could even be bigger. That place can hold a lot of people, brother.
Last year you guys had some amazing bands there as well.
Yes, we did.
You had Sublime with Rome.
They were awesome.
Yeah, you had Funk Dubious.
Funk Dubious was there. Sheepdogs. Don't forget Sheepdogs.
Oh yeah, man, they were
Biff Naked rocked the house.
Yeah. It was crazy. There was a lot of really great bands there.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are a little bit different than other cannabis events. Actually, wait, I'm giving away too much. We're going to get into this after
we got one other thing. We got a while.
I don't want to, we don't want to
What time is it, brother? What time is it?
Right now it's 4:16.
Oh,
so
I see. Okay.
Just about 4:20. We got 4 minutes, 4-minute countdown. And you know what? We haven't even smoked any weed yet. I feel terrible here.
That's all right. You know what?
We don't have...
You know what? I got something in my shorts. Hold on. Let me just turn around.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's family friendly.
Okay. I'm not sure. Let me just reach deep right here, man.
I don't want to see.
Right,
I'm not going to look.
All the kids not looking or what?
Put your kids to bed.
A foreign object. Are we okay?
He's pulling out a foreign object.
All right. Why don't we stop by giving away 2 Thursday tickets?
We have 2 tickets to give away.
2 tickets to give away to your viewers any way you feel necessary. Come on, they read my shorts only a little while. So you still want those tickets.
Are they next? I hope they're like not too, I don't want to touch them.
Are you sure, brother? There's nothing wrong with these tickets.
You can hold them.
All right. Now.
And we have some gigglers in the house over here, in the hot seat cam here. We have BC Bud Gal and Ashley in the house. They're trying not to crack up over here.
I love the ladies. Camel always loves the ladies.
Camel loves the ladies.
You got it.
And ladies love the camel.
Oh, that's why I had to shave the mustache, brother.
Ladies have a camel.
I
didn't say camel toe.
Yeah. What was that mean? Huh? What?
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi.
What's going on?
We're just fucking around over here. Don't know how to.
Just hanging out.
Anyways, yeah.
Very cool. You guys don't have your shiny costumes on today.
I don't have one.
You don't, and the big hats.
Come on, shiny is good. Shiny is good.
There's no tassels. You guys don't have any tassels.
Yeah, I rock these tassels.
Hey, I got a Tribe Called
Look at those
Red
things.
shirt on.
Should totally rock that during Pride.
That's a nice shirt. I will say that is a nice shirt.
Camel, you should go tomorrow. You should wear that during Pride.
Yeah, you should.
What are you talking
You
about?
might have. There might be some others wearing.
Parade.
Yeah,
easily. I be at that parade.
You should lead that parade.
It's 1 minute before 20.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning. Somebody better light a joint or something. Man, I look what to the rescue. See, these are what these are for.
Nice.
To the rescue, and we're going to talk to these girls in a couple minutes here too, about why they're here and what they're doing.
It's always good to talk to the ladies.
So look what I happen to have in my filthy little palm.
Wow, look at that.
Will it? Oh, no, it won't. But that's about the best you're going to get. It's a box of pre-rolled joints from Cannabis Culture. And it's the sour diesel flavor.
Coming up, baby.
We got 1 minute, so I better get one out of here. See, these are from our Futurola machine. These are amazing joints. They're actually, in the past, I was always a guy who hated pre-rolled joints. And we had the raw cone roller and all that. And I'm just not, the raw cones, I'm sorry, but they just don't do the same job
420.
as the Futurola crew does.
Oh, here we go. Somebody called it.
Happy 420. Is it? It's
420 right here, right now.
It is 420. They were accurate.
You think I would lie to you? Come on now. I'm BC Bike. I don't lie about that shit.
You cannot tell a lie like George Washington.
Whose watch? Because I might have a watch somewhere if you guys want to see where the watch is. Are you sure?
Definitely not.
All right. We'll work from there.
I didn't know they made bands that small.
Oh, wow, you got to be careful, bro.
So, where'd that? Do you have a lighter? You don't have any pants pockets. Don't reach for the lighter.
Pants,
do you want to reach
period.
for the lighter, brother? It's up to you.
No, thank you.
It's up to you. It is Pride Week.
I didn't bring one. I was gonna bring a joint, but I actually forgot. My rig and everything is upstairs.
There's Boss Lissa to the rescue.
Own it.
As usual. All right, so. Yes, we are smoking sour diesel from Cannabis Culture.
Nice.
And you can find these pre-boxed joints at our Davie store in the vending machine, 1674 Davie Street. We also carry them behind the desk at several of our locations now. So, and yeah, they're all over the place. So come to a CC and get some pre-rolls for the beach. But don't go to the beach today or the past couple days, or probably the next couple days, because there's this massive cloud out here in Vancouver.
It's been smoky, brother. It has been smoky. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking 420 smoke. Mm-mm. And
Not
you know,
the good shit.
we'd like to give a big shout out to all the firemen that are working hard in BC right now, trying to keep this province safe. They are working hard, and we hope they're working safe, and we hope they can get home to their families real soon.
Exactly. It's pretty brutal here in British Columbia with these massive fires going on.
Terrible, bro.
Yeah, and our firefighters are doing their best, but it's really a difficult situation there, and you know, it's they could use all the help they can get. So you know, we should probably have one of those places that you can donate to or whatever up, but we don't. We weren't that prepared. At least we said something about it though.
Of course.
And you know, don't go outside for too long. Apparently, the smoke is not so good for your lungs. So if you don't have to, stay out of the beautiful outdoors. It's supposed to be extremely hot out there, but so.
You ladies like to participate at 420?
There's Joy. Yeah, you guys could light one too if you want to. Somebody here, Macho, you light another one,
All
brother.
right, all right, brother.
Get a couple of these
You
going.
know what? I got to put on my smoking glasses.
Ah, yes.
There we go. Here we go. They're also my reading glasses.
Very nice. They are. He wears those to the library.
Yeah, brother. I wear these to bed.
So, we're going to come back to the Legends Valley and get to that in a little bit here. And we also, I just wanted to say, later on the show, where'd my paper go here? So I get it all down proper. Oh, sorry. I can't grab things. So yeah, later on the show as well, we're going to have Andrea Fasoli from Denver NORML on the show. Denver NORML's putting together a new series of podcasts called A Normal Week in America. And so we're going to have Andrea on the show to discuss the new podcast and what's going on in Colorado with the legalization effort there and the latest news on Colorado. But before we do that, and before we get back to the Legends Valley, I want to bring on some special guests today. I'm going to bring on Carina Gonzalez of Canna Gems. And Canna Gems is a new company that just opened, and I'm going to get the address up here. It's in Hamilton, and they make heady cannabis-related jewelry. And it's really amazing stuff. It's really awesome. They just launched their store, and the store looks beautiful. I've just seen some of the photos of it, and it looks gorgeous. Carina is coming on the show, and if you've watched the show in the past, you know Carina because she's been on the show many times in the past. It hasn't been on for a few years, but Carina is an amazing artist and designer, and also basically a lifelong, extremely good friend of mine. And also, she started the business with Brittany. Am I allowed to say? No, I'm not allowed to say. Am I? I don't know what's going on. So.
Just say it.
Brittany Johnson, Brittany Ann, we call her, who is one of the Cannabis Culture 5, the CC5, not allowed to work for Cannabis Culture anymore, but I think it's okay to have her on the show. I don't think that she's going to breach her bail conditions if we do that. So let's see if we can go over. Hi, guys. Where are you here? There they are. Hi, ladies.
Hi, ladies. Hello.
Good to have you on the show, and I'm going to get Boss Lissa to make sure the mics are okay and everything. I know you can't see us, but I have Macho Camel next to me, so that's who is.
Ladies. I love the sisters.
And we have a big studio full of people as well. So CannaGems, ladies, tell us about this latest project and I've seen some amazing photos so far, but I want you to Carina, tell us what's going on there.
Well, I guess about a year ago, Brittany came up with the idea, let's do some jewelry, like really nice, fine style of jewelry, and I just got to work and I came up with a bunch of body chains and belly chains and earrings, and it's actually been really difficult to produce, but we have a few samples and we finally got one that we really loved, so we decided to launch along with our pendies and just open our store because we had so much inventory. It's crazy.
Yeah, you guys have made some really beautiful designs. I've seen just a few photos, and you guys have shared some on your Instagram, and that's at CannaGems, and that's CannaGems. Again, that's CannaGems, CannaGems. And there's also a Twitter account at CannaGems, the same one. But
And Facebook.
yeah, but you guys are now opening a store, and you just opened it, right? You had your soft opening a couple days ago?
Yeah, that's right. We opened on Wednesday, and then Mark is coming down for, I guess, grand opening on Saturday. So that'll be me and Mark here because Brittany can't be here due to conditions.
Oh, because Mark and Brittany aren't allowed to hang out anymore.
No.
Criminals. Absolute
So
criminals.
sad.
And so the store,
Allegedly.
the store is it. Turn them up a bit. Okay, I'm not sure where that volume.
We can move closer.
Yeah, maybe this one.
Is that better?
Oh, okay. Here, that might be a little better. And I'm also going to turn up volume here. No, we're jacked. Yeah. So okay, you guys, we can still hear you. It's just a little quiet. But yeah, that is better. Yes, get right on in there. And we see you have Figaro there too.
Yes.
Figgy. Oh, what a cutie.
There we go.
Little guy.
That's a cute little guy.
He's still kicking it. Yeah, he's just about gets lost in your cleavage.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay, guys, back to business.
Back to business. Oh, no more fun. All right, so Canna Gems. It's at 315 King Street East in Hamilton. Can you guys show off the store? Can we take a look at it, or? Yeah, do the Vanna White for us. Yeah, let's see some stuff. And we got it. Yeah.
Oh, they're at the store right now, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother.
So this is like coming in the front door. We have Lena C. Wilson glass sculpture. I made this display yesterday.
Very nice, very nice.
Cool.
But we have a ton of amazing beads and opals that Brittany purchased, along with this one-of-a-kind warrior necklace.
Whoa.
This
Wow,
is
damn.
amazing.
The
Like, they
camel
don't
lacks
make
that
glass
one.
like this anymore. Some of these colors are no longer around. Show the necklace. up
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I love that chain.
here. Like,
And-
and then the chain, this stuff's mine. So this is the stuff that I've been coming up with. These will be custom orders. You'll have to get custom sized for them, or send me your measurements for now. But again, I'm not super happy with the way the leaves turned out. So we did get a guy in Vancouver, Stoner, who totally got me. He knew what I wanted, and he came up with this finally. I don't know, Rexy, if you can get in. If you can see the leaf, it's white gold, and it has the flower of life pattern in the
Wow.
cannabis leaf.
Very beautiful, very beautiful.
They are
Yeah,
gorgeous.
like, cannabis is the flower of life. Like, it's part of, like, humanity. It's so important to us. We can get our clothes from it. Well, you guys all know I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah. Yes, but so the store is stuff that is not just stuff that you guys made, but also it's designs for
No.
other people. And
Yeah, we brought in glass pendies because the glass world in the cannabis world is so, like, intertwined, and a lot of people can't afford these really expensive rigs. So if you want like your favorite glass blower, we have them, like, so many here.
very cool.
Yeah, and pendies are the gems of the cannabis community, so it goes along with Canna Gems.
Yes, all those pendies. Everybody, the glass art community
going
is
too
huge.
fast. We can't see them.
Tell your cameraman to
Oh,
slow down a bit.
too fast.
Yeah, slow down, cameraman.
Those other ones at the beginning look sweet. But
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
them.
Yeah, the Buckley glass down here.
I love the super soakers.
Yeah, those are amazing. That's Imperial glass.
Cool.
We have some amazing, like, Vancouver Island Gibson glass here. Some of these glow in the dark. They're just so beautiful for festivals and stuff.
Wow.
Like, I can
Wow.
see these at Shambhala, and they're just gorgeous with opals in them. So, I mean, Brittany's our buyer, and she's done an amazing job at getting us a beautiful selection of pendants.
Gorgeous. And so let's see some more of your Canna Gem designs.
Sure. So, Rexy, you'll have to follow me.
I'm following.
Oh, the camel always follows the pretty sisters.
What I had in mind is not exactly this. This is our samples, and we will be selling off these for a very reasonable price because they're not too.
I think they're gorgeous.
They're beautiful, but they're not to the grade level that I want. And
Right.
my guys in Vancouver are working, like, around the clock right now to get our stuff produced. So there's an order for the Flower of Life cannabis pendant. We've got 25 silver coming and some custom gold and yellow gold, white gold as well. But yeah, this is the stuff. So we have hand chains, necklaces, back chains, belly chains, body chains, and bralettes. There's one on the bottom here.
Cool.
So you can wear these bralettes like over your bikini, over a dress, under something. They're, like, really versatile. They kind of look like a necklace, but they just go further down. And for us ladies that like to show off the cleavage, they're
Yes, yes. They accentuate quite nicely.
Yes. So. Yeah, and so that's all I have for now. But the collection that I came up with was about 58 pieces, and I even have thigh chains. I mean,
You have 50,
but they're amazing, and I know the ladies are gonna love them. So
very cool. Did you say you had 58 designs?
yeah, I designed 58, and Brittany and I picked 24, and we're planning to launch a few of the other ones for like maybe next collection. But I'll keep coming up with stuff because I love design. So
Yeah, well, you're very amazing at it, and they look fantastic, Carina. So really good work.
Thanks.
Extremely proud of you guys for putting together such an awesome thing. You guys made it look really great. That store looks fantastic too. Can you slowly give us a turn of the store, very slowly though? We just can't see it if you go too fast.
Is any of those sizes Macho Camel size?
Macho Camel size. Yeah, do you have a watch with a really small band?
Oh, brother. Oh, that's the second time you said that.
Sorry.
Were you looking at the package?
I snuck a peek.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
At least you admitted it, brother. Because many don't.
Wow, those are cool too. Wow, there's a lot of really great stuff in there.
yeah, that sweet shop glass.
But your cameraman is on cocaine. Slowly, cameraman.
Go slow down.
Yeah. No, those are amazing. Very, very cute stuff. And I like it has such a cool style to it. I see the sort of like thread in it, the stuff that you guys have there. It's very cool.
Yeah, we have leather bands with, it's kind of like the Canna Gems way to wear a pendy. So you have the leather strap with the beads, and you can wrap it or tie it, or you get various ways to wear things. Versatile. We're all about versatility.
Very cool.
Such a stylish way to wear a.
I love
said pine cone,
the bolo with the super soaker. That's amazing. Oh, and you got the peach bums.
Dollhouse.
Yeah.
Yep, those are cool too.
They're the Carla Peaches, and we did our best to display everything sort of like an art gallery. Because it really is art, the glass. I mean, they're so beautiful. There's so much detail, and we really wanted to make it like different, not just a regular jewelry store. We're Canna Gems, we're cannabis related, and we're artsy.
Canna Gems.
Do you guys want to see the front of the store?
Yes.
Outside?
So cool.
Yeah, show us please do. Show it all off.
Okay.
Show us everything, Brittany.
So,
Quit
Down
it. You're just rolling today. You are rolling today, Jeremiah.
Conveniently enough, we're actually only a few doors down from what was the former Cannabis Culture in Hamilton. So we have, this Canna Gems store, which connects me back to this part of the city. I'm looking to make Hamilton a more cannabis-friendly city. Obviously, due to my conditions, I can't really conspire very much when it comes to dispensing or anything to do with dispensaries. So Canna Gems, Project Gator was my motivation to really jump on this with Carina and start something new and exciting and different. I'm pretty sure we're the only cannabis jewelry pendant shop in North America, from my knowledge. I could look further into it, but I think that it's very unique and cutting edge for the cannabis industry, and we're super excited to be here.
No, it's amazing.
I feel like they should serve like medicated tea or something in there. It just looks like
medicated tea. Yeah, well, see, the problem is right now that I don't think they can serve medicated anything at the moment, unfortunately. No. Yeah, but the Hamilton cops don't like Brittany very much.
No, it's Toronto.
Wow.
She can be trouble.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Very nice.
Your cameraman's really particular with his shots, I've noticed. Really particular.
He knows how to sell that jewelry.
Cameraman. I know how to sell that jewelry.
Yeah. Your cameraman has the best job in town. So
I was just like, I'm just gonna cover.
Everything's okay, sister. Everything was okay. Everything was in place.
So very nice. And man, you guys have done it. It looks fantastic in there. And if you guys want to see more, the people watching, you guys have give me all your social media. I know you guys have Twitter and Instagram at least, right?
So we're at Canna Gems. Yeah, at Canna Gems on Instagram, Twitter the same, and we're on Facebook as well. And if you see anything you like, just send us a message on Instagram. That's where we're doing most of our sales right now. Or come by the Hamilton shop and visit us. We're open 12 to 8, Wednesday to Saturday, Sunday 12 to 6, 8?
Yep.
And we're closed on Monday, Tuesday.
Closed Monday, Tuesday,
Excellent.
12 till 8, Wednesday to Saturday, and then Sunday from 12 till 5. As
Cool.
well as tomorrow is the grand opening.
Yes, and Mark Emery will be down here with me all day, telling stories, greeting people, and helping me sell some pennies.
Mark Emery will be in the house at Canna Gems. That's at 315 King Street East in Hamilton, Ontario. And ladies, are you going to have a website soon where people can order this if they don't live in Hamilton?
Yes, we will be building a website very soon. We're just working all of our logistics out right now. We're doing a pretty good job selling on Instagram. So again, follow us at CannaGems, CannaGems, and hit us up on there until we get our website going.
Yeah, send a private message on your or through your Twitter as well, right? You can send can you send private messages through Instagram?
Yes, you can.
There you
What
go.
planet are you on?
I don't send messages on those things.
Macho Camel asks, what the hell is Instagram?
Macho Camel needs an Instagram too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you guys, I checked out some of the designs on your Instagram just before the show, and there's a lot of cool stuff there to check out too. So
We've done 2 different photo shoots as well, so we have we're gonna have a little lookbook ready for anyone who's interested soon, where you can order our stuff and.
Very nice.
On it.
Canna Gems catalog.
Yeah. Hey.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Carina Gonzalez and Brittany Ann.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Love you guys. Thanks a lot for coming on. Appreciate it. We'll check in with you soon to see how it's going. And when you get new cool designs, we'll show them off on the show.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Awesome. Okay.
Good job, ladies. Good job.
Bye, ladies.
Choo-choo.
Excellent. So there we go. Canna Gems in Hamilton, Ontario. Very cool stuff.
That was some funky jewelry.
Very nice.
Wow.
And the cannabis jewelry scene is huge now. There's pendies on. Everybody's got pendies all over them.
Getting big.
And yeah, it's finally getting to the point where it's not just like some crappy little weedy earrings that
from back
in the day that were made of wood or something.
No, not at all. And you see some of these glass pendants that people are wearing, and the art that goes into these things now, and the time and the effort. It's not just a piece of glass with a blob in it.
Right,
it's a piece of art.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, it really does. It does.
Yes.
The hours put in for sure.
It's true. So check out them at Canna Gems. That's 2 N's. And yeah, all their social media and stuff. And if you're in Hamilton, definitely go to the store. I have 2 more guests in the house here too that we can point the bud cam at quickly to get a look at and see these handsome devils. Look who it is. It's Opus and Neil.
Oh yeah, there he is.
And look what Neil's wearing.
Both of them.
Look at Neil's shirt.
Look at that.
That's an old school.
That's going to be
BioCup
old
shirt.
school. That is going to be a collector's edition.
The now extinct BioCup, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? Before we get deep, why don't we give these 2 Thursday tickets away?
Okay. I forgot to give them away.
And we'll say who is playing on Thursday. Thursday is a great show. Great show. Right away, we got Taryn Larong and the Revolvers. The next band playing after this. Sorry, I think I came a little too close to the microphone. Then we got Everhawk, right? Who is a local Vancouver Island band who is getting some high gear and some play these days. And then, of course, this is one of my favorite. I actually just seen her in December, and she rocked the house at Big White. She had at least 400 or 500 people dancing, and this is Katamya. She is an extreme violinist. She has this electronic thing into it with her band. It is super hot, and I tell you, you just want to get up and dance. Everybody does, right? And then, of course, we're having back on Thursday night. He played the Friday last time, but we're giving him the final of the show. It's Daniel Wesley. Come on, that's everybody's favorite party guy song. He knows how to get to your heart when you're playing, when you're at a festival. You're having a good time. It's all about drinking, smoking, and just having a good time with yourself, being peaceful, meeting friends. And it's one of those places. Legends Valley Music Festival is for friends.
Very cool. And I had a lot of fun there last year. And It's different because you guys actually allow cannabis consumption at the whole event everywhere. There's like smoking all over. Somewhat?
The smoking areas.
Somewhat.
The smoking areas. We have to work. We have to work with certain.
Come on, you don't remember that? You
I
couldn't
don't
even
remember.
smoke down by the stage, but you
There
could
is
smoke
no
your
smoking by the
cigarettes.
stage 'cause it is a provincial law that you cannot smoke around people that are working. It's just like a bar. It's just like if you're in a
People were
lounge,
smoking
you
cigarettes.
cannot smoke tobacco in a public place where there is people working.
I was smoking.
Unfortunately,
I was smoking
it is
anyways.
not my rule. It is a rule of work safe. There is stage hands. There is engineers. There's sound guys, and there's performers. And by law, you cannot smoke cigarettes around them. It is part of a provincial law.
But they
that
can
I
drink and
nothing
have a
to do
beer
with.
garden,
We
and
make
that's
sure
cool.
we have a
I was
smoking
just gonna
area
say that.
all around.
So it's totally okay to get completely wasted, but you can't
Well, you
bring
can't.
on get.
Wait a second.
you could-
No.
The people that work there aren't allowed to get wasted either.
No, not at
No,
all.
we're
No.
talking about the people that are there. You couldn't even. They were checking people's packs. People came back to the booth that I was working at and saying that they were getting their cigarette packs checked for joints.
Where was it? At the BioCup?
Yes.
I never got checked anywhere.
It's-
They
if
wouldn't
you're
even-
going- if you
they
were
wouldn't
going
even
into
let the
that
cotton
green
candy
zone,
through.
We will say they were a little extreme because there was people giving joints out and throwing them into the crowd, and those people then, of course, the police and the security decided to get a little antsy, and once that started, it just rolled from there. You know what I mean? It just kept rolling. And then, of course, security says, well, nobody's going to get into the non-smoking area because it's provincial law. There's red tape. There's red tape in all this, baby.
I didn't, I guess I was completely oblivious because I was like smoking everywhere.
I was there all weekend.
Yeah.
Actually, we were there all weekend.
Yeah. Well, so there's it's not always perfect. You can't always do
Not always
everything
perfect.
you want,
Not
but
always.
there are areas to smoke in that you see the stage and go to. It's like all right around that main area.
You got it all
Yeah.
around the other part of the circle, in the Cannabis Expo, even on the edges of the Cannabis Expo. It's fine. But soon as there's any kind of employee working in an area, and it's just like if you were in a bar right now, you have to step outside. So it's a general smoking area.
Yes.
So-
And there is drinking there as well, as
Of
there's beer
course.
gardens, and there's certain areas you can't just walk around everywhere with your beer either. You got to
And
be
you
in certain
can't.
areas.
You can't. There's certain areas you
Right.
cannot be walking around with alcohol.
Right.
I just hope that this year no one gets their medicine confiscated because that was the main problem last year. Is that people were
We got
going
some
about
critics
and
here.
they were buying their
The
medicine,
girls
and
out
then they were
loud.
getting it taken away by security. And I don't think that's okay. Personally, I don't
So
think
is
Getting
Macho-
harassed like at the gate, basically,
you
by
shouldn't
everybody.
have your medicine. You went to a bio cup to buy
Cannabis
your
friendly.
like your cannabis friendly cup to
Yeah.
buy your weed. I understand that, but I understand ingesting your medicine when you have the space to do it and not taking it to something, but you shouldn't be able to go see your favorite band and then have the medicine that you just spent $100 on be completely taken away from you. And that was continuously what kept happening.
So
That's
let's
a good
just
point.
hope
It's a good
this
point.
year
It's
is
a good
different.
point.
Now, Macho.
That's all. I hope that's different this year, and I hope with High Times they're gonna really change that in that sense.
Well-
it's high times.
You gotta know, though.
It has nothing
No.
to change with that.
And actually, when I was at High Times, now this is something that happened when we were in Amsterdam. At the High Times event, the police actually came to the High Times event, and when they were entering, they were doing things like searching people at the event in Amsterdam.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
last
kind
2
of a
years, for sure.
yeah, and so these kinds of things, it's not necessarily the people who run the event that have the control over what happens necessarily.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, but. Sometimes they do, and if it's a security company, I'm wondering if you guys did you talk to your security company about?
It is a new security company.
Yeah.
But overall, it's going to be more relaxed. This was the first year last year. Not even the town folk were relaxed until we got there.
Yeah.
Then when we got there and we showed them how nice of a spirit we are,
Yeah.
we go into town, we spend our money, we go to the restaurants, we go to the hardware store, and now everybody likes us, and everybody is going to be way gentler. We had to pull the first year off.
Do you wear the
And,
outfit?
There was some
At the
bumps
hardware
on
store?
that road. There was some bumps.
Yeah.
But we're hoping it's a little smooth this year.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's got to be smoother. And it's all
Absolutely.
part of learning, man.
Definitely, and And the camping, there's a whole bunch of camping there. There's all kinds of, it's a
yeah.
massive event. When I was there, I was actually
Yeah, your fest
amazed
weekend.
that they let this kind of thing happen in general. Like the fact that you can consume
got it,
both liquor
brother. We're
and
pulling it off.
yeah, I mean, it's just, it's pretty amazing to see any of these events. So, you know, and you guys are doing it in a way where you're actually allowed to do it. Like at something like 420, we have to fight to do these things.
Yes,
So
and I see that fight.
Yeah.
You guys have put up a fight for so many years.
Yeah. We're
Always
fortunate.
applying for that permit.
Yeah.
Getting turned down, going to meetings, getting turned down again. Of course. And we were pulling off something.
Okay. Mick is
Yeah.
heading the road. See you Tuesday, brother.
See you later, brother. See you later.
Long weekend. Oh,
Long
he's off.
weekend. Long
Mick is
weekend.
Mick's
Friday of long weekend.
He's our joint technician now. So, but he's taking Monday off. All right, you can have one day off.
Back to one Tuesday.
Time and a half. All right. You're saving me some cash here. All right.
But I was going to say
Yeah.
what makes 420 so amazing is also because it's a cannabis-only event.
Yeah.
There's no alcohol. Could you imagine 420 with all those people drunk? It would probably be
I
a
like-
completely
Come
different.
on. I know we have the contrarians in the audience here.
And we're-
But I think that drinking alcohol is okay if you're responsible about it. And I don't think we should give everybody who likes to consume alcohol a bad name for the fuck monkeys who drink too much and act like pricks.
And we
So-
also made an event that everybody can come to.
Yeah.
Whatever they want. A lot of people that came and saw Sublime that night and all that went nowhere near the Cannabis Expo. They came for the concert.
Right.
So if they wanted an adult drink in an adult situation, what makes us to say, being
I agree.
cannabis users, that they cannot have an adult beverage?
I agree
But
completely.
we as cannabis users can't consume our cannabis. That was
Why not?
No,
we
you
were
can
able
consume-
to consume
you-
cannabis everywhere in that park.
You have said your
except
piece.
one
You have
area.
said what you thought about it. Now be nice and be respectful
I am
to my
being
guest,
nice.
please.
I'm completely being nice.
Right.
I'm
Well,
just
don't be
saying
shitting
that-
on the event of
that
my guest because it's a cool event and
It's an amazing, awesome
you have
event,
said your
and the
piece
fact
now,
that they
so-
are putting cannabis and alcohol and music festival all together. I was
It's a
there
music
last year.
festival.
It's a music
Personally,
festival.
I had
Yeah.
a great time last year. Me individually, I had
Just
an
because you
amazing
don't
time
like
at Bio
alcohol
Cup
doesn't
and
mean that
Legends
other
Valley.
people
It was
don't.
Awesome.
Some cannabis people don't like alcohol and they don't want it anywhere near
They
their
get very
events.
offended with it.
Right.
They do. They
I
do.
understand, but I like where people can consume whatever they want, and if they cause a problem, then that's the problem.
Well, and it's part of the prohibition. Why would we fight for prohibition, fighting for freedom of prohibition, when other people all of a sudden say, "Well, we got to prohibit this, then, or we got to prohibit that."
You used
if
to be
we're
able to-
if we're gonna make choices on our own of what we put into our body or consume, may it be McDonald's, alcohol, or my favorite, cannabis. But overall, we want that choice, and that's part of ending prohibition is the choice of freedom.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think, there's examples in the past, like Amsterdam, for instance.
Yeah.
You used to be able to drink beer in all the coffee shops before
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You can walk. You can buy it in the store. Walk on the street and just walk down the street drinking.
That's right. Last time I was in Amsterdam, I was walking down the street drinking a 2.6 of cherry vodka.
Wow, brother.
Like that,
Wow.
right out of the
Wow.
bottle. So that's,
Ooh.
and so, I think there's, everybody's got their own opinion about
Yeah.
it. But there's a lot of really great bands coming. Last year, there were a lot of cool bands. Carly Marley's in the house.
Harley Marley.
She finally
how
showed
are
up.
you doing?
I wasn't sure if she was coming or not.
There she
I
is.
even knew.
And Carly
knew?
Marley is
Well,
going to
she
be
said-
one of our celebrity judges.
Yes.
At the High Times Cannabis Cup. Right? We have lots of good judges, but I think we should give these
We gotta
Thursday
give these tickets away.
So you guys come up with some kind of question for your viewers.
We
right
have
away.
the chatters here.
Right?
So chatters who are out there watching right now we have Facebook and YouTube. I don't have, is YouTube up here? Wait, hold on a second.
Who doesn't want to come see Daniel Wesley for free? You got free tickets right here.
I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. I don't even know who he is.
Daniel Wesley was there last year. He rocked the place.
I wasn't in
Internet
the stage
Explorer.
then when he played.
Well, sometimes when you have many bands, you look at different stages. That's how it works.
So now
I miss many bands.
Funk DBs
these
is
two
coming
tickets
back,
should
and
go
that's
together,
awesome.
right?
What's that?
So the two tickets should
They're
go together.
They're a pair.
They're a
You want
pair.
to go with a friend, of course.
Right, so I think we ought to, for the first two tickets we're giving away, we're going to do them on YouTube first. Then the next ones we'll give
Nice.
away on Facebook, just so it's
Okay.
fair to our YouTubers and Facebookers out there. YouTube we've been on for a long time, and that's our old school audience who's still watching on YouTube. I don't know what I'm talking about. YouTube first. So, how do we want to run this contest? Is it like a trivia thing?
Oh, it was going to be up to you. Come on, Ed.
I can give it to whoever I want. You mean I'm just like
maybe if that's what you
who
want,
do
but
I
I'm
like?
gonna think
Who
you're
will
gonna get
impress
a
me?
You should
few thumbs down on
you
there.
should see who
Ask a question, brother, and the first one to answer wins.
the final act of last year.
The final act of last year. Okay.
There you go. That's a good question.
one.
That's a good question.
So, who at the last year's Bio Cup / Legends Valley Music Festival was the big name artist that was the last one to perform?
They were supposed to be second last, so this could be a trick question. Because somebody was supposed to come up from the United States of America,
How about that?
but somebody didn't clean the record, and somebody else forgot their passport.
Okay.
So that band could not make it up.
So the one that did.
band that couldn't make it.
The one that
how about-
couldn't make it, or the ones that did make
The one that
it?
couldn't make it.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we're gonna name the one that couldn't make it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that's an even harder question,
That's a
actually.
harder question.
That's
It was just the band that didn't show up.
I'm
Come
trying
on,
to figure-
was
I don't
super
even
There's
remember.
only
disappointed.
one
I wanted
band
to see
that
them.
couldn't make it. So it is if you do quick research, there's one band that didn't make it.
Yes. Let's see here.
Disappointed.
36 bands last year we had.
Our chatters say the support girls are not supporting anything.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hey, everybody's entitled to their
Don't
opinion.
care.
That's all right.
Everybody's
I said
entitled to
Funk
their opinion.
Dubious is awesome.
Life is a
so
wrestling
I
match,
support
if you
Funk
know what I mean,
Dubious.
That's
brother.
right.
Life
There
is
were.
a wrestling
I didn't
match.
say anything bad about the bands. I was just saying there was frustration with security and
Right.
those
Right,
sorts of
you
things.
gotta answer the
And then I'm
questions.
hoping that this year is better. That's
Yeah.
all, because I'm gonna be
Always
there.
better.
So
That's how you do it.
I think that's the key way of we make things better, anyways. If people
There's
don't
always
speak
a
up, then
next
it's-
try. There's always a
Exactly.
second time around.
Yeah,
Try
but
again.
I gotta say, from the perspective of a person who runs an event and does this every year, you guys put together an amazing show. It was really
Thank you.
smooth.
Thank you.
Besides the little hiccups that were here and there,
Of course.
like when I looked at that place and I saw what you guys put together, I was pretty impressed.
Thank you, brother.
So
Thank you, brother.
it's not easy to run these things.
No,
They don't
no,
always.
It was a lot. It wasn't hiring the bands. It's the red tape.
someone's saying it won't load the lineup.
Somebody said what?
It won't load the lineup.
It won't load the lineup from 2016. People
But
are
at the
trying to
same
look.
time, even if you do
Oh.
check, you're not gonna know who
This show
didn't
is
show
not
up.
finished yet. So you know what? You gotta win.
So yes, so I'm not sure if they can find it online. Nobody seems to know.
Hey, you can
who that-
go- I'm sure there's-
C-Ray says Spinal Tap. Was that the answer?
No.
Oh, that'd be awesome though. Wouldn't
That would be
How
awesome.
about wait? They start.
I'm a big Spinal Tap fan. His voice is at 11 always.
All right.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I can't even whisper. Don't tell me any secrets.
Brotherhood of Manfred
It's a-
von Rickenbacher's Hemporium.
No.
Oh, come on.
I love that band though, but no.
I feel like we should give them
What
a
happens when
clue.
you smoke and your mouth goes a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
There you go.
Oh,
That's a good
perfect.
now,
one.
now somebody's gonna get it.
What happens?
Oh, so this band couldn't make it because they're criminals.
Well, no.
No.
Let's not say that.
I was being joking.
Yeah, Biff Naked
Biff
performed.
Oh, I
Naked
don't-
performed.
Yeah, she was there.
Oh, I thought it. Well,
Somebody forgot their passport.
The
Somebody
Sheepdogs
didn't
also
clean their
performed.
right.
So
But this
The
band-
Dirty Heads also
This band- I'm
performed.
gonna give another-
You guys are just naming bands that are performing.
I'm giving another hint here. Wasn't this band is a cannabis-related
How
band?
about yes?
Cannabis-related
Yeah.
band.
Cannabis-related band.
What
So-
and their
And if you
initials?
don't have no water around and you just smoked a big joint, your mouth goes a little.
Matt the Alien.
He was there.
Matt the Alien. Yeah, no.
That person's just guessing now. Justin L. You're just guessing.
Yeah,
You don't even-
Justin L is just guessing. Los Furious.
Their how about their?
No, I like that band. That band.
If
was
you
good.
break
I
up
did
their
see that.
name, it's what is it?
They also are
KMK.
royalty though. They're also royalty.
They're also royalty.
They're also royalty.
Right? They could
What do
be
you
a
got?
queen
Oh
or a
yeah,
king,
yeah.
maybe.
Give that
They
to
could be a
listen.
queen
Or
a
oh, guess
king.
I got to do
With
that.
the dry mouth.
Yes.
Oh,
We have the Cottonmouth Kings.
Bob Doug. Is
He,
that what
he
it
spelled
says?
it incorrectly, but
Bob
close enough.
Dog?
Yeah, he still gets
Bob
it.
Dog.
Still.
Bob Dog.
There you go. There you
But
go,
it's Kings. It's not Kangs. But I guess he's just saying it weird.
Use them. Make sure you give them to a friend or something.
Bob
It's
Dog.
gonna be a good show.
So we just got to make sure we get Bob Dog's contact information. Bob Dog, if you want, you can send that to my personal email address, jeremiah@cannabisculture.com. Please do send that to us, and we'll make sure we get that out to you.
But we have another pair of tickets to give away too.
Oh, do we now? Beastie
This
Bud
event
Gal's got some
is-
tickets.
No, these are different ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
these are different ones. That's what I'm saying. To a
Beastie
different
Bud Gal's
event.
got to a totally different event.
So August 10th. So this is coming up. Wait, what's today's date?
The 4th. Today is the 4th.
Okay, so August 10th. So you better be local, be able to
This
make
week.
it. The
Next
MMJ
week.
Canada Collective Care event
Oh.
is going on at the Venue nightclub here in Vancouver. So
Cool.
we have a Juno-nominated award artist performing, which I will leave unnamed. It's a surprise.
Unnamed artist.
And then we also have Bend Sinister, which I think they're gonna be.
They're playing at
Yeah,
Legend Valley.
cool.
Yeah,
They're
so
playing at Legend Valley.
DJ Tripwire and more, and also there's gonna be free pizza. You can smoke and get high in the Venue nightclub with me and a bunch of MMJ people.
Beautiful.
So yeah, free pizza. Who doesn't like pizza?
There's free pizza.
Very
So-
cool.
As long as it's rocking the pineapple, you know what I mean?
Now-
Pizza needs a pineapple.
Now for this ticket, because you're giving them away together, right? So we got to always give away the tickets
Tis a
together so
pair.
somebody has a friend. Exactly.
Yes.
So, but there's only one set of those. So I'm going to flip a coin right now. I'm going to flip a Canadian Lune here, and we'll see if we're going to give them to YouTube or to Facebook. Because we
call.
got to choose one or
Good
the other.
call.
So I'm going to say heads is Facebook.
Yeah.
Heads is Facebook because it's like a head. Oh, so it's tails. YouTube gets the
Da-na-na-na.
tickets.
Okay,
All the Facebookers
so-
out there, they're like, "Arr," right now.
Well, my thing is that you also have to follow the MMJ Canada Live Instagram because it's our new Instagram account. So we're only at 324 and we want to build it up because we're doing more giveaways. If you actually look on the page, we have a giveaway going on for 2 other collective care tickets, also 2 tickets to the High Cruise,
Oh.
which is September 3rd.
Why don't we give it to the first person that goes and likes that account or follows your account?
Yes.
So the first person from YouTube to go and follow the MMJ account, which is what? Wow, what is it?
MMJCanada.live.
MMJCanada.live. Wait, this is not on. Sorry, what's the Twitter or the Instagram? At MMJCanada.live.
MMJCanada.live.
You can put dots in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is what it looks like.
There you go.
Oh.
So the first one to go and like that, and then tell us that you've liked it in the chat. So you
Yes.
have to go like it or
Well,
follow it,
I
and
will
then tell
see
us.
a notification if you follow and like
Right,
the
but
photo.
somebody might get back in time before the others. So if
Yes.
it's a race right
That's
now.
true.
So there you
Yes.
go.
See what happens.
So we'll see who that is in a second or two. And Carly has dabs going on there. Let's get the Carly cam on for a sec here.
Sit down. I can't stand up.
Where yeah.
Why, you can't multitask?
Yeah. So
Thanks. Oh, thank you.
so I
That
noticed.
one's falling apart.
Oh.
Is that we need to replace that microphone.
So I just wanted to, well, Carly was coming on the show anyways. She was going to be my backup co-host when Johnny first jumped it, but then we had Macho Camel here, so.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm
Yeah.
cutting you off. We have 3 new followers, but no one's liked the photo. So first...
Oh, they have to like the photo too?
Oh, no. Oh, okay, we're doing it the first person that follows? Okay, then
Yeah, first person
Broken Racket? Am I saying that right? Broken Racket?
Yeah. So
this
they don't,
human?
so just a follow and then tell us.
Okay, well,
That's
this
all it should be.
person won. They first...
They haven't told us yet though.
Oh.
Tell us in YouTube.
Who is this
Oh.
person? Who is it? Is it in the chat? Let's see. I'm going down the
Well,
chat here.
420
Broken
Wild
Racket.
Dragon.
Oh, Broken Racket?
Yeah.
It's Broken Racket. He
where
won
is
already.
Did he
or
say
she
it?
won
Okay,
already.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Broken
Alrighty.
Racket.
He beat 420 Wild Dragon. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Um,
It's all Broken Racket. So, Broken
yes.
Racket, send me an email, jeremiah@cannabisculture.com, and we will make sure we get you connected with your tickets in whatever shape, form that takes. I guess if you got to be in Vancouver, really, to use these tickets. So, hopefully you're here.
I would hope
Broken
so.
Racket. If not...
I can't see. It doesn't say on your profile. I'm just being a creep and creeping now. So
I think it's Broken Racket. Wait, was it somebody? No, Broken Racket was the first one to like it anyways.
yeah, first person to follow, and then he commented and liked it too. So.
Did somebody else like
Bam,
it as
he did
well?
all 3.
Did somebody else like it?
No. We got a couple more followers from it though, so appreciate that, fam.
Yeah, it was Broken Racket.
Yeah.
So, very cool. But Carly, I wanted to ask you because I didn't have the chance to read it, but I saw text messages, dirty, angry text messages coming at me for how we were being too perverted on the.
I just
were we being?
you know what the thing
we weren't trying to be rude.
You know what I have to say?
We were just
All I
joking
have
around.
to say, I know, that's fine. But I just felt like you have 2 amazing activists on
Yes.
screen, and I felt
They are
like you
amazing.
could have utilized the time with them better, asking about the work they're doing. And there's so many amazing females in the cannabis industry right now,
Yeah.
and I think that's an important thing
That's
to
why
talk
I
about
wanted
because
you to
more
say
so than
that.
any industry, there's more females working in labs than in any other science industry in the cannabis cannabis industry and the hemp industry, there's more entrepreneurs, there's more female
Yeah.
CEOs of companies. So if it were me
And-
doing an interview with them, I would have talked more about that than how good they looked on
that's
camera.
not-
Personally.
Then luckily on your show, you can have them on to talk about whatever you would like to.
Well, sometimes honestly, it just gets.
But I agree.
It
I
gets
agree
annoying
100%.
sometimes.
I agree 100%. And I also want to say that there are a lot of women who are doing amazing work everywhere, and they're being paid less for it still to this day.
Yes, they are.
So Carly,
Yes, they are.
Carly, this is an issue that I think is one that you have mentioned before. But the women that are doing these jobs as professionals are most often being paid less than men.
Well, that's what, not necessarily in the cannabis industry though, which is what's really refreshing. The cannabis industry is different than almost every other industry because most industries have existed for decades and decades.
Yeah.
The cannabis industry in a lot of ways is becoming more legitimized now than it has in any past decades. So when you look at all these other industries, like let's say advertisement, you realize there's shows like Mad Men. That's the way that this industry started. That's the way this industry grew. And there's a lot of, men with gray hair in suits that are still the CEOs, and they don't make room for the amazing females that there are in the industry. And a lot of people are still stuck in an old way of thinking that society has created where they think that women can't do a job as well. So it's frustrating, but the cannabis industry is different because there are a lot of female entrepreneurs, there's a lot of female CEOs, there's a lot of women taking on roles that are high paying and they're, well-respected roles, and they actually pay the women in the cannabis industry the same scale.
Well,
they pay
I'm
the
just
men.
gonna call someone out in the comments how they put their boobs on there. Both wore very revealing shirts. You don't have to look at the tits just because we wear low-cut shirts.
Also in the middle of
I don't think
August
you
right now?
understand. I don't think you understand as a person with the male gender and male hormones. There's when
But
when
still,
people
there's
wear,
a time and
it's
place for
hard to-
everything.
That's
Like,
it's hard
one
to
comment is
resist beautiful
sufficient, right? One comment
ladies
is
and
sufficient.
any right. But I mean, we weren't. Come on, we were just joking around.
Hey man,
But
I
let's-
send you those
let's-
messages as a criticism.
let's-
You're the one who decided to bring
I wanted
it up
because I wanted to bring it up because of course because I believe that
I think
you
that
were.
time could have been way better utilized
well,
talking
and I
about
believe
how
that you had a point, and
Brittany,
that's why I asked you.
Despite her being continually targeted by the government, repeatedly opening businesses that are amazing and groundbreaking businesses, repeatedly being threatened with arrest,
Yeah.
yet she's still there doing it. She doesn't give a fuck. She's
Yeah.
still doing it, and she found a way to continue doing
Yeah, we
it.
did. We
That
talked
would have been the
about that.
questions
We
I
did
asked.
talk about that. Oh, you probably tuned
I'd
in
say
for
that,
1
no,
minute or something.
I was watching the whole
Yeah.
show, and I'd say there's
we
about
talked about all that
50-50
stuff.
in the
Come
discussion.
on, give me a break. But
All I could say is
You're
we
the one
were
who brought it up on air,
operating
so I'm
a
going to call you
camera.
out if you bring
at the
it
same
up on
time,
air.
I think that actually women in the cannabis industry are at the forefront and have been for a long, long time. And you hear sometimes people say, "Oh, there's not enough women in the cannabis industry." That's bullshit. There's women everywhere in the cannabis industry. There's a lot of them, and they're some of the highest regarded ones, like Jodie Emery or like Hillary Black, or like there's so many people who have been some of the people that have been the ones really making a difference in the cannabis community for a long time. And I've always this might be a sexist thing to say, but I actually think women are better at everything than men. And that
They're way smarter, brother.
when it comes to
They're way
working
smarter.
as a person who employs people, women usually are better employees than men across the board. They're more responsible. They actually do a better job, So, right, and they're not preoccupied,
You know what?
as Neil said.
Exactly.
They're not preoccupied with cleavage.
Beautiful. Women are beautiful.
Yes.
And for
Yeah.
a man to look at a beautiful
Tell him, Carly,
woman-
they said. 420, Wild Dragon said, tell him, Carly. Yeah, there you go. Yes.
I don't
there
know.
you go.
I find their
I have a feeling there's going to be a wrestling match soon.
Yeah, oh.
And you know
I'm
the
getting
thing
a
is,
little scared here.
and I've got to
You are
say
wearing a
too,
Speedo.
I'm going to lose the belt.
See, we also have been commenting on Macho Camel Speedos, so it's fair game here for both genders. We've done a lot of objectifying of both women and men on the show today. So
ladies
Here's
wanna
the
see
thing.
the Speedo?
Here's
That's right.
the thing.
So-
I'm gonna be honest. Is half the time, most of the time, girls don't want to see dudes in a speedo, and then here's here's guys that are like,
Oh,
oh,
come on.
hey, oh, where's your face?
If we make fun of a dick pic, a guy
I'm
sends
sorry.
us, that's not
Yeah,
us
we do
objectifying
not- yeah,
them.
we don't
That's
get turned on by your
objectifying
dick
us.
I
pics.
think
Like,
that
I'm sorry.
it's not a low cut enough Speedo then. You got to get a low cut Speedo.
The other thing is too, it's the middle of summer.
Neil-
so
Neil-
people need to accept that women wear things like low-cut shirts, short shorts, tiny dresses, because it's freaking
And Macho Camel
hot
wears his
out.
Speedos.
So-
That's all there is to it.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
thing
right.
is,
Neil-
that's okay. They're
Neil
not
has some
wearing that
experience.
necessarily for you to be able to observe them or to see what they're wearing or
Yeah.
for your own pleasure. They're wearing that to be comfortable.
Right.
And I think when you look at
All
when I
right,
saw
all
those
right.
two women on camera, they looked really beautiful on their own. And and I feel like
They
it doesn't
always
even
do.
need to be said. You know, you say it once, and their beauty
oh,
speaks
come
for
on.
itself.
Now you've said it once, and now you've said
Yeah.
it enough. So you take your own advice on your advice, and yeah, there you go. So, yes, I agree with you. But I was going to say Neil also has some experience with... Neil's been objectified.
They didn't take my activism seriously.
Yes. Yes, Neil, I know, it's all about the balls with Neil now. No, it's all about the balls. Good thing you were waxed just before the day before.
Brazilian, I heard. Brazilian.
Daily, just in case.
Rick, someone said you don't wear underwear.
Macho doesn't wear underwear?
Be damned.
Uh-oh. I think you better...
Who knows me that well?
Yeah.
Who knows me that well? I have many no underwear
I
stories.
don't want to know how they know.
No.
Underwear are
Somebody knows me
overrated.
too well. See, that's why I had to shave the facial hair.
Yeah.
Hoping to hide the identity around this.
Well, I'm glad you're wearing it
You know, it
today.
takes so much, right? They got to change it up, bro.
If you weren't wearing any underwear, you wouldn't have anywhere to put the tickets.
I got my Speedos on.
Yeah.
Come on, I stepped up to the plate. Did you wear your Speedos? Come on. You got your Speedos on? Neil?
I'm wearing
Speedos?
shorts.
There you go. All right. But nobody else rocked the Speedo.
So that's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
we are lawfully allowed to go topless, but I'm gonna fucking stare, so it's not like we want to. It's like, yeah, it's just a fucking nipple with some muscle and
Well,
fat.
I'm not legally allowed to go bottomless. So
No one is.
it's unfair.
Yeah, we can't do that.
I'm not allowed to show any of my objectified parts.
You can go shirtless though.
You guys were allowed to show your nipples.
But they
Have we digressed?
I
Okay,
think we've
I
died.
Actually,
I
did you
think
know? Wait, this isn't necessarily a digression because actually,
I think it is.
originally, men were prohibited from showing their nipples in
That's
public
true.
as well. And it was actually a group of men that went, "This is ridiculous." They were on
Yeah,
the
that
they were,
law makes sense.
Yeah, but they were on the beach and they went,
I don't wanna
"This
see
is
those hairy
ridiculous.
nipples."
It's insanely hot out. We want to just go swimming. We shouldn't have to cover our bodies this way." And men repeatedly started going down and protest in groups with their breasts exposed, and
Yes.
they would get arrested, they would get beaten, they would get called horrible names, they were stigmatized in society, but because they kept doing it and they kept pushing with civil
Yes.
disobedience, now men can walk
All
around
right,
with their
all
tops
right.
off, and the same thing is happening with
All
women
right.
in many states
We
and
have
provinces.
digressed. Carly, the
prohibition.
protest waiting to happen, has chimed in on that issue. So,
I'm gonna go
Very-
take a
I'll
dab
go topless.
upstairs.
oh no! Don't look what you made him do now.
Oh, no. You just put the black bar up there. You know what I mean?
want to see it.
Hide that. That's too gruesome for
No
Pod
one
TV.
wants to see
I don't
that.
want
That's
to show
gonna-
off too much of the muscle.
That'll get us removed from Facebook.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Yeah.
You got it.
Hey, yeah, the old job I had, we did this peekaboo giveaway thing, and it was like a naughty card. So in the keyhole, it looked naughty, but you open it, it wasn't naughty at all. And we did one with an, I don't know what it was, like a guava or something weird. And everyone thought it was a nipple, and Facebook removed it. And we're like, dude, it's not even like a piece of the human body. Like,
That's
it was
hilarious.
ridiculous. Anyways, I'm gonna go upstairs and take some dabs. So
Yeah. Thank you
Toodles.
for being on the show.
Yeah.
And now we have the co-hosts sitting next to each other here. So you can watch both these ladies every Monday evening at 4 p.m. here on Pod TV, the 420 Lifestyle.
Yes.
And BC Bud Gal, you can follow her where on her social media? Where?
BC Bud Gal, come on, everywhere. It's just BC Bud Gal.
Is that on everyone though?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
There you go.
Massroots. Bam, just like that.
All of them. And Carly Marley, what about you?
I'm Carly Far. Carly Marley.
How do you spell that? Yeah, spell that
I'm
one
Carly
for 'em.
Marley 420 on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me Carly Marley on Facebook as well.
Yay. Awesome. And also, Carly, you have developed a little video for the show today. That's what you were working on before the show. That's why you were late. Or maybe, I don't know why you were late, but I'm guessing.
Videos take a while to export.
Yes. And so we're going to play that video on the show today
What
as
does
well.
that mean? What does that mean?
They take a while to export
I'm
videos.
joking, brother. I'm joking. Never ask a girl why.
Once
Why
you've
she's
edited a
late.
video, the program has to take all of the information you've given it in the edit and then actually put it into a movie file. And the computer sometimes likes to take a very long time to do that.
I'm laughing at 47 Chuck B's comments. Haha. I see you.
So, alrighty then. We should play your video, but I don't know if we have it prepared. I haven't prepared it. I don't know why I keep looking at Alyssa as if she can prepare it. She's like, why are you looking at me? I have the hand on the controller. I know. I saw the thing come up here. But you know what? I want to wait until we come back from our next guest to play this video because
all right.
Bye, BC Bud Gal. And Ashley's just moving. She's still here. Oh, yeah, here's the tickets. Good. Yay. So.
Oh, wait, you have to cover up the name.
The
shit. Name is on the ticket. The special name is on the ticket.
Oh, okay. Somebody would zoom in and see that. So, okay, there you go.
The secret's out now.
Yep, I already ruined it
It's
all.
on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys. So, on the show next, I wanted to have Andrea Fasoli, who's the Denver NORML activist who has put together a podcast called A Normal Week in America. It's, I guess, a couple episodes a month that they're working on. So we're going to Skype Andrea in here. And Macho, while I'm working on this.
Okay, brother.
So last year we had all these crazy bands and stuff. Did we go through the entire list of everybody at this year's?
No, we only started with Thursday.
We just started with Thursday, so we need
and
to.
You know what?
We need to
I've
go.
already pulled out a couple of Friday tickets that we could talk about, and maybe as you're doing the Skype thing, me and Carly Marley, because Carly Marley is coming over to be a celebrity judge.
Yes,
she is a celebrity nowadays.
Damn right she
no
is.
matter what, and we know she's going to be able to handle the celebrity judge bag, which this year. Whoo, my goodness, you should see the entries that are in. I tell you, the judging is going to be so hard. But you got to remember, there's always 2 cups. There's also a People's Choice Award, where 110 judges can buy their bags, and they bid on the same stuff. So every category has the 2 cups. The Celebrity Cup, and they meet every day. They meet a couple hours every day. Then plus they have to do their homework, which is pretty thrilling because I seen the bags last year and they were pretty nice. So with saying that, maybe Carly Marley could come up with a way that we can give 2 Friday tickets away.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll announce bands of who's coming, and it's really hot. This is when the multi-event starts. There's a speaker stage. There's last year we called it the Rochella stage. Was a smaller stage, but even that stage is a huge stage at most concerts. Our main stage is the largest permanent stage in all of Canada. So when you go there, it is huge. It can actually hold 24,000 people at this venue. All right, so I'm going to tell you, I got to adjust my reading glasses, if you know what I mean. Okay, on the saloon stage on the first day, it's a band I believe I saw. It's called Dances with Whiskeys. Local band coming up good. Then we got all the way from Mexico is Gunjo Bassman, right? Check that out on YouTube. I'm telling you, you're gonna love that stuff, man.
Good name.
It's like Mexican reggae music. It is quite the fusion, and he is super excited to be here. Another local band is Glebe Hart and the Royal Youths. They are kind of a reggae style band too. Then we have, I hope I say this right because if you check these guys out on YouTube, these guys are something else. Elvis Presley.
Good name.
Right? It's a great name. It's a great name, right? And they kind of do almost, I don't know, it's like a reggae hip hop kind of sound. And with, I don't know, it's got even a rock mix in there too, right? So on the final of that night will be the Gaff, right? The DJ The Gaff, one of the best DJs in all of BC. I'm sure the electronics people really know the Gaff, right? All right, now we're going to main stage. Ben Sinister, which is playing at, which I mentioned tonight. They're going to open Friday night. The Harpoonist and Axe Murderer. Juno nominated band. The guy was nominated this year. I tell you, they are on this list. I gotta say, one of my favorite that I have been listening to at home all the time after these guys signed. It was like, I can't believe these guys are coming. Then we got one of the biggest bands 3 years ago, where it's number 1 in 14 countries, including the USA Billboard charts. They had the number 1 song for 6 weeks. And it's Magic, right? Canadian band. They've kind of relocated to LA. They are huge. They get, just that one song alone has 1.5 billion hits. 1.5. Insane number of hits. That's not including their other song.
Wow.
Right, just the one song. I believe it's
billion.
Somebody said it was like the 32nd most watched video ever on YouTube.
Yeah, it must be at that. Yeah, because it takes a lot to get to a billion.
And they are multi-award winning, even Juno nominated band.
Very cool.
Right, and then to finish off Friday night, come on, people. We got the 25th anniversary House of Pain tour coming to Vancouver Island.
Oh man,
Danny Boy.
Wow.
DJ Lethal. And I tell you, Everlast's going to be there too.
Oh, man.
It is the original lineup.
That's pretty damn amazing.
They're going to be there.
That's
Jump
huge.
Around.
Yeah.
Jump around.
Oh, man, I really am a huge House of Pain fan and have been since 93. It was 92 or 93 that first album came out. I just can't remember which year. But I think it was 92 even. Like, that's how old that shit is.
25 years. So if we do the math. Hold on, Camel needs to get
maybe.
That's 92.
92.
That's 92.
Uh-oh, see.
I was born in 93, so it's an easy one.
Now comes the objectifying.
I'll say that. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, but 25 years. So I do believe.
You need some of those
we're
Canna
talking
Gems.
92.
You need some of the Canna Gems, the waist one with the chain down there.
I was asking about her stuff there, and
exactly.
I felt like I'm now getting in trouble for asking for Macho Camel wear. I feel like I could go into that store and be one with
Carly
them,
was really giving a shit there. Yeah.
I don't think so. I just wanted you to know, as a female viewer, how I felt watching.
I know. Well, I don't think you.
understand. We understand.
I get you.
We understand.
Yes. Well, we like to have a little fun, you know. It's once in a while. In this, we, put you in front of PC Principal on South Park.
So maybe Carly Marley can come up with a way to give these 2 tickets.
Yes, Carly. Do we have a way to give these tickets away?
2 Friday tickets.
I will. Hopefully this question's a little easier because some of the questions that have been asked have been a little difficult. We did the last one on YouTube, so maybe we should do this one on Facebook.
This is going to be a
fair.
Facebook question. This is for our Facebookers. Yes, good call. I'm glad you mentioned that.
So there's this amazing new show on Pot TV that I love called High Noon. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, you definitely should. So I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about that.
No problem.
And as many of you probably know, our amazing producer, Boss Lissa, is hosting the show.
Woo!
And my question is, what is the name of her co-host?
Good one.
Yes.
Good one.
And we'll accept also the name, his alter ego name.
Okay.
Or his Instagram name.
Or just his first name?
Or his first name. His first name is what he's going to be going by on Pot TV, but we've been talking about his first name, his Instagram name, his alter ego. So if you can name any of them, who is Boss Lissa's co-host on the amazing news show on Pot TV, High Noon, that is on every Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Yes, so we are waiting. I'm looking at the chat here.
I like people with alter egos. You know what I mean? I really do sometimes.
They're like superheroes.
It's true.
It's true.
Yes. So the show is called High Noon. And we need to know who the co-host with Boss Lissa is. That's the question, Facebookers. Still no answers. What's that? Is it a trick question?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of crossover viewers, so somebody's got to know.
Yeah. So there's, as Neil pointed out, Neil thought there were multiple co-hosts, but we do have one main co-host as well as Boss Lissa.
And then we're going to have lots of staff.
And we have a winner. We have Brad Van Giesen. Brad.
Thanks, good win.
Brad won.
There you go.
He said Miles, and that is the correct answer.
Very good. You're good.
Yeah.
Miles and Boss Lissa.
Make sure you send your address, your email address. Get them mailed down.
Very nice. Thank you, Carly Marley. That was awesome.
Very good job, Carly.
Thank you for letting me do that. That was a lot of fun.
No problem.
Very good question. And it promoted the show at the same time. Damn, she's always...
Looking around, I was like, what can inspire me? And then I looked over and I saw Boss Lissa in the corner. I was like, she inspires me.
Always good for a plug, too. We're going to call you Expert Plugs.
Are you going on?
You're taking over for Craig today. Yeah. No, go ahead, brother.
All right. Well, we have a friend that lives on the island, and I tell you, her name's Angela Devine. She takes some of our BC Bud Depot clothing and our concert clothing, and maybe Carly could give her opinion on this. And we really think she does a hell of a job by just giving her a couple of T-shirts. She takes this material and she does magical things. And at BC Bud Depot booth at the Cannabis Cup. Mm-hmm. Come visit us in her booth. She'll be there, and she'll have all her designs. And we have a few designs that Carly Marley can look at right here. It's under the microphones there, and if you want to take a look at them and put them up, I'm telling you, they are some of the... She puts in so much effort, and as you can see, that was just a T-shirt. That was a T-shirt.
Very cool.
That's
very nice.
Right? Right?
And it's got the BC Bud Depot stuff on
Yes,
there.
so
Very cool.
it's kind of like our couture line, if you know what I mean, brothers and sisters. Right?
Very cool.
Right? So she puts in such an effort. They will be there on sale. She'll have a whole bunch more made, right?
Cool.
And especially in the summertime, they're nice stuff, right?
And is it all for the ladies?
It is all for the ladies,
for the
of course.
ladies.
It is all for the ladies.
Yes.
So what do you think, Carly Marley?
I love it. I think it's great. I personally, whenever I get a T-shirt, I do something similar. I don't have a sewing machine, so I can't put like nice elastics and lace and like really do it up the way she has.
We couldn't believe it when she sent back
That's
the first
crazy.
box. It was like, wow, we sent her a box of T-shirts.
I really appreciate that though, because I know what it's like as a girl when you want to go to an event, you want to rep a brand that you really care about, or you want to show your support somewhere. But the T-shirt just makes you look like you're wearing a plastic bag. You know, it just
Understood.
You want to look nice at the events. You're taking pictures with all your friends. So I think this is great. I think this is a great idea. And it's funny because when I wear my 420 and Cannabis Day shirts, I've had a lot of people come up to me lately and say, you should just set up a booth and have that for people who want a cool shirt. So it's really cool that there is an event where if you want to get a cool, more unique, personalized shirt where you can show your support, that's an option. I love it.
And her name is Angela Devine. You can even find her probably on Facebook and all that if you would like to buy some of the couture things. But she will be at Legends Valley Music Festival, and you can find her wares there.
Very cool. And I just wanted to say to Brad, who won the tickets, the fresh set of tickets here, Brad, if you weren't watching the show earlier, in order to claim your tickets and get them, send me an email to my personal email, jeremiah@cannabisculture.com, and we will get that figured out and make sure that it's you and all that kind of stuff. So please send that. Awesome.
Do you have enough post money in your pocket? Because Camel doesn't have many pockets today, if you know what I mean.
What we'll figure out is if they're coming to the Cup, we might be able to just negotiate you pick them up when you get here rather than sending them out. They might get lost in the mail or whatever else. But if you email me, what we'll do is we'll just make sure we figure out exactly what that system is going to be.
They would be up at the box office waiting for you in an envelope.
Cool.
Then they get scanned. You would get your wristband then.
Right.
And if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, and what we'll do is if you
left
email
some in the
me,
lounge.
we can get your full names, we can get all the actual info, so when you go to pick it up, you can show your ID, and then you can take them away. So that's the best way to do them. So we're going to come back. We're going to do more Legends Valley stuff on the other side. But I wanted to bring on right now a gentleman I've just met and talked to over the telephone who is doing amazing work down in Denver, Colorado. And that's Andrea. I'm about to butcher his last name. It's Fasoli, Andrea Fasoli, and he's got a new podcast for Denver NORML called A Normal Week in America, and I guess they're doing a couple episodes a month, so we're going to bring him on the show right now. I'm just going to see if he is in front of his computer here. We will Skype him in, and is our Skype function working here? Aha. Uh-oh. Hey, there he is.
Hello. How's it going?
How you doing, man? There he is.
Good.
Good to actually see you in person.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you can see me right now. Oh, not yeah, sort of, through Skype, that is. I don't think you can see me, though, because we don't have the video capability set up on this side, so hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yep, definitely.
Excellent. So, Andrea, tell us a little bit about what you guys do there at Denver NORML and about the podcast you guys have coming up called A Normal Week in America.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for having me on the show. And yeah, so as the local chapter for the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, our primary objective is to continuously advocate for the rights of marijuana consumers and also to improve, the current state of legalization in, the state of Colorado by basically targeting and concentrating on issues and roadblocks that the legalization, or especially in the cannabis industry, hasn't really addressed. So, for example, one of the main things that we were focusing on was the social consumption aspect, and having the ability not only for local residents to be able to have safe spaces where to consume with other like-minded individuals, however, at the same time having tourists and giving them the opportunity of finding a place around town, around the city, and even overall in the state of Colorado where they can enjoy these civil liberties without having the fear of being targeted by, law enforcement officials, because currently they do not have a place where they can safely consume.
Right, so that issue is one that's close to my heart because I'm actually sitting here at our Vapor Lounge here in Vancouver, where we have been operating for over 10 years, and we consume cannabis on site. We sell it on site and consume it, but of course it's still illegal here, and we're being targeted even here in Vancouver. We have an injunction against one of our Vapor Lounge locations, so that fight is really amazing. I'm so glad you guys are doing that there because it's such a vital piece of the whole entire pot movement. You have to be able to consume it somewhere, and if you live in an apartment where you're not allowed to smoke and you can't smoke it in the park because there's rules against that and all these other things, you got to have somewhere to go. Yeah.
Yep.
And also, it's a place where activism happens, I think. When you get people together and you can share stuff, that's where the culture really is built.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, when we compare to the social aspect and the activity of people actually gathering together, when you look at the, example of a bar, then why can we not have something for cannabis, to give that legitimacy for people to actually meet and for others that might not be as accustomed to the cannabis culture to really be able to have a better way and a simpler way of joining the culture and really experiencing it from the full social, cultural, and advocacy side of things.
That's very cool. So that's one of the things you guys are going to cover on your podcast.
That is correct. And so, yeah, the podcast is basically a joint collaboration between the local chapter of Denver NORML and Wheatstream Radio, which is a local entertainment platform. Now, the reason why we started with the actual name called A NORML Week in America is because as one of the flagship chapters in the nation, we wanted to make sure not only to advocate for the community in Colorado, especially in the Denver metropolitan area, but also really to propagate the successes and also the stories of many entrepreneurs and activists in the cannabis industry here in Colorado for the whole community to really stay up to date with what is going on. And the other side of it is to connect with other chapters of NORML across the nation to really be able to basically bring their stories alive, because there's so many amazing things going on in other chapters for what they're pushing for their specific, reforms of marijuana laws that I think many other people should be, aware of what is going on in the country overall.
Very cool. And so there's 2 episodes a month, and one is for each kind of thing, right? Yeah.
So basically, each so the first episode is released the second Friday of every month, and then the second episode, which is the national episode, it's released the fourth Friday of every month. So basically, the first episode covers everything regarding Colorado, whether it's activists, whether it's other political organizations, whether it's local businesses and entrepreneurs that are either coming up with new products or new ideas of how to basically bring the cannabis industry to a higher level of legitimacy. And then the national episode is where we either reach out to other executive directors from other NORML chapters, and simultaneously, depending on the month, depending on what we're covering, then we can also reach out to other entrepreneurs and people that have worked in the industry more of the national scene to really show people, the historic and the size, the proportion of what this movement really is all about.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like a very cool project. And now, so Denver NORML, NORML has been around for over 40 years doing this, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. And, you guys have always been at the forefront of, basically trying to get these laws repealed and reformed, working, through all of the different states, and there's chapters in every state. Tell us a bit about Denver NORML's chapter. How long have you guys been, there's Carly, the wrong one. Tell us a bit about the chapter there.
Yeah, absolutely. So the chapter was started in August of 2015, so basically almost 2 years ago. The executive director, Jordan Person, she actually originally founded the chapter, and the reason why is because she saw an underlying issue with what legalization first started with, and then with the sort of the lack of attention that people were giving to certain issues like social consumption, like, for example, drug testing, and especially employers in the state of Colorado, as well as, for example, cannabis and driving under the influence. So how to relate and how to be compliant and safe in a legal state, and really educate people on what are the necessary steps after a state is legalized. Because so many times the battle has been so much of a struggle just to get a reform, just to get something moving. That now that there are so many states that are falling from the curse of prohibition and really going online with their programs, that's when we really need to make sure that Colorado is a model for success that can then be easily replicated in other states. And so what we're trying to do is to perfect the aspects of legalization, and then seeing how we can then spread the message out to other NORML chapters that will eventually have to go through that that process.
Right, and you guys have it's really a lot, you are tasked with a lot, and it's a great point you made, because you really do have to kind of set an example, and if everybody is going to be doing this in the future, we want to have the best example we can, a really good model that other people can run with, that has worked, and we can have proof that it worked. And I've always been really sort of happy from an outsider's perspective, at least happier than I am with some of the other legalization ballot initiatives in other states with Colorado, because Colorado seemed to be the one that was the most sensible on a whole bunch of fronts. But I know you guys are still obviously fighting for a lot of reforms within that. Can you tell us about, what's going on? It stopped again? Okay, we seem to be dropping off of our Facebook thing here, so just a quick second while I put us back on Facebook. But I was just saying, what do you think overall about the ballot initiative? What are some of the key points of stuff that you guys want to change? I know you mentioned the vapor lounges or places to consume, but what are some of the other things like that you guys are working on right now?
So one of the other things, as I was mentioning before, is basically cannabis and driving under the influence. So drug testing more at with the law enforcement level. And so what we've been trying to do is to not only bring certain research foundations and research organizations, they're now currently seeing better methods of testing individuals that might be impaired while driving, while being on the road. So far, there have been fluid testings, blood testings that usually the police department, DUI, driving under the influence department, will do on a regular basis. We're trying to see how to educate not only the public, but at the same time, start a line of a conversation with the law enforcement agencies or the police department to really be able to have a system of testing that is less intrusive, and at the same time, it's more fair, because cannabis, as you may well know, it's a substance that stays in your body for quite a number of days. I would say on average 30 days. And what we're trying to educate even police officers is that just because cannabis is present in somebody's body, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have consumed cannabis, 3 hours before and, after driving. And so that would consider them, impaired and in violations of traffic laws.
Very important issue, and that's one that's happening everywhere. Washington had some problems with that. Here in Canada, we're actually going through the same thing right now, where they have some really harsh nanogram limits that would really, basically make it so that if you had smoked pot any time in the last 3 weeks or something, you're going to show. So, exactly. we got a long way to come on that end for sure. So that's I'm glad you guys are working on that. Some of the other things there I wanted to ask you about, because I'm actually kind of behind on my Colorado news. I haven't been keeping up as much on it, and I'm kind of ashamed of it myself. But I know you guys are allowed to grow a certain amount at home as well, right, which is something that our government has proposed here in Canada. Is it enough, the amount that you're allowed to grow? And also, has there been enough marijuana produced by the people who are licensed to produce it to fuel the legal market?
Definitely, yeah. No, a great question. I mean, one of the things that I think you mentioned also a few minutes ago that was really good, the fact that Colorado was a very open process regarding the legalization movement and the evolution of the industry, as to the fact that, one, they did not give, very, I would say, restrictive quotas on the number of licenses they were giving out for businesses, and definitely on the supply side, that definitely fueled the demand and constantly kept up the growth of sales, for the cannabis market. And then on the other side, definitely one of the things that we were seeing is that the taxation system was not as punitive as it might have been in Washington State at first. So there definitely was a good step for people to be able to afford cannabis and not directly be driven once again to the black market. So that was also a good thing, both on the medical and recreational. Of course, medical not having the excise tax makes it also cheaper. And to what you were saying regarding the plant counts, so the 6 plant counts has always been there. And by 6 plants, it also, you have to count not just like the full-grown ones, but the ones that are developing, like the clones, for that specific example. However, there has been a restriction on the medical side regarding plant counts. Before actually this past legislative session, a doctor could recommend almost up to 99 plants for one patient. Now, what they did realize, and I mean, we can debate there whether the statistics are correct or whether they're biased or skewed to restrict the medical market, but basically they are now dropping it down to 24 plants maximum for somebody's debilitating condition, because they were afraid that the caregivers would either create co-ops or would get more and more patients. Nonetheless, they would also try to sell cannabis to basically, let's say, maybe tourists or people that were coming in from out of state and then driving back to their states with good quality cannabis. We as Denver NORML and just NORML at large as an organization were opposed to that, because yes, 24 plants is definitely a lot as a plant count to produce your own medicine. However, when we start working on extracts and concentrates and oils and all those other products and cannabis derived goods, then you're definitely using a very large quantity of material.
It's true. Yeah, and there are some patients who really do need that much.
Right.
Yeah, but I do, it's an interesting thing to me in Colorado, because it seems, like I said earlier, I think they took a very much more sensible approach, and actually had the real heart of the people there in mind, or of the entire legalization thing. They were actually thinking about the people. Sorry, wrong cam. Rather than just trying to install this thing that was going to work for big business or something like that. It was something that was actually, it's going to benefit people. And this idea that they opened it all up. Right now here in Canada, we have a system. It's very hard to become a licensed producer. And the federal government says they want only these few licensed producers to be the ones to produce for all of the country at this point. So I like what you said about that. I have Neil Magnuson here as an activist here. He has a question. Neil, you don't have a microphone. Do you want to grab the mic over here? But yeah, and I just want to quickly say before I let Neil say that, that I like where you guys are going now with the regulations and looking at them and actually trying to find out what works on that level. So, the goal they had in mind with protecting patients that, caregivers might try to form a business and charge patients and these kinds of things, that's a noble goal, I think. And we do have to have regulations that protect the patients as well. But in this sense, I think you're right that one probably hurts them. But I like that, we're not just we can't just let big corporations run away with cannabis either.
No, it will be a monopoly in the end.
Right, and we have to have sensible regulations.
Everybody has always had one of those monopoly games where you just hate and you flip the board because you hate it. Yes. And nobody wants a monopoly.
No, oligopolies are bad. And really, I think when we look at regulations, that's what we should be looking at. We should have regulations that are protecting patients and the citizens from oligopoly builders, and not targeting them and not working the other way where the regulations are building oligopolies. So,
and that's what it seems like it's going to be. There's going to be no mom and pop stores, as we call them.
Right.
No bricks and mortar. You're going to have to go through the few companies.
Right. You have to go to the Microsoft of weed or the Molson cannabis.
And it's taking so many jobs out of the way. And it's, some of these areas, they could use people renting their shops or leasing their shops for 5 years at a time.
Yeah.
There's many landlords that could use that in
big
many
time.
little cities.
It's good for business. It really is good for business. Yeah.
And Colorado has shown a business model that is growing like that, so I will give him. And this young man right here, I will tell you, he is a well-spoken young man, and he has a message. He has a message, and he delivers it.
Yeah.
He delivers this message.
So,
and I know Neil's got a
Andrea,
question for
you
sure.
don't know, this is Macho Camel who's sitting with us here. I know you can't see him right now, but he's wearing a green sequin tasseled jumpsuit. He's Macho Camel. He's quite a character with the Legends Valley Music Festival. Now the the High Times Cannabis Cup is coming to Vancouver Island where we are. And so we have him on the show today too. But we also have Neil Magnuson with us here. He has a question he wants to ask. And Neil?
Yeah, in regards to regulations, you said there's 6 plant limit for the average non-medical person. Are there height restrictions on that?
So regarding the height, not necessarily. However, there are sort of basically once they start considering a new plant, an actual additional. So for example, there have been problems with people growing because their landlords did not approve of that. They still grew because they either necessitated their medicine. Sometimes it can be an issue. For example, when a clone becomes higher than 8 inches by 4 inches wide, that's when it's considered an actual plant. And so that's when people have to be really careful, because if they do get, I would say, quote unquote, audited, but they get basically, monitored by the MED, which is the Marijuana Enforcement Division here in Colorado, as they can see that more people might be able to make clones out of their original plants, they have to be careful of keeping them in the house, because once they reach a certain height and width of measurement, that's when it can be, a potential extra plant that they cannot have in their homes.
But can they grow a 6-foot plant?
Technically, yeah. I mean, the plant can be as big as as big as it can be. So there's been a lot of people that have taken advantage of that, and a lot of greenhouses, even in neighborhood areas. Right now, they're building like custom made for residential purposes. So they're not going to be big greenhouses or big buildings, but they're big enough to grow decent size cannabis plants. But yeah, to answer your question, no, the size limit is not there.
Here in Canada, they want to have a 3-foot limit on the 4 plants that you're allowed to have, which is absolutely ludicrous.
3-foot limit.
Yeah, and I mean, designed to make it so that you really can't do that for yourself.
And it's not picking your medicine.
You're going to have to buy off the government dealers.
Right.
And with respect to cutting the limits down from 90 to 24 or 99 to 24, I mean, how do they justify that? I mean, yes, maybe it's being diverted somewhere else, but where are the victims? As you obviously know, there's no victims, so I don't know how they justify regulations without victims.
Andrea, how did they justify that move to limit the number of plants for medical purposes?
So at the beginning, there were 2 major conflicts for the municipality. Well, not only in Denver, but just in general, the legislative body of the state of Colorado. One was the safety hazards, because of a lot of these growers. Of course, for a caregiver, it makes also sense that the more patients they have, the more plants they can grow, i.e., the more money they can actually pull in for their operations. Mm-hmm. So that was one thing that actually, I believe it was down in Colorado Springs that it happened. There was like a fire hazard, and so that definitely drew a lot of complaints from the community. And a lot of people were just not feeling a lot comfortable having many caregivers in their neighborhoods growing excessive amount of plants. The other side was, as I mentioned before, the black market diversion. However, the one thing that we testified in a lot of committee hearings at the state level was that these diversions to the black market were not really coming from the medical market, because it would cost you a lot more to start growing your own plants, being tracked by the state, and having all those equipments that you need to make sure you have before you start growing, medicine for people. I mean, it makes more sense that the diversion from the black market was coming from people coming out of state, purchasing marijuana where they're 21, just if they're above 21, they can go in any dispensary that's recreational, buy the cannabis products, and then resell them on the market. And that's something that a lot of people in the legislature did not want to admit, because it was just, this other target was a low-hanging fruit. And if they focused more on people coming from out of state, there was no way they were going to enforce it. So by basically targeting more the medical market and placing certain restrictions like the recreational one, for example, the plant count limits and the inability for certain caregivers, to provide as many plants as they would like to, was, a low-hanging fruit for the legislature to go after. And also for, creating more, in a sense, more work to do for their enforcement division, because this will create, task forces that will have to monitor even more all the caregivers in the state.
Right, and I think that's such a good point that, you know, there are sometimes the goals, I think you can see, especially from the establishment and the government, they're bureaucrats and they're trying to make, you know, they're trying to make work.
Causing trouble.
They really are. They really do. You know, the government can get out of control with regulations because it gives a lot of people jobs, and they like to do that. And, you know, and I think, again, we have groups. You know, I keep thinking that in Canada here, even when we get legalization, we're going to have to be fighting every, you know, year, essentially. There's going to be issues that come up just like these ones, and it's going to be this back and forth. And it's going to go on and on and on like this. So you guys are kind of on the front lines of that right now.
Yeah, no, and actually one other thing that it's probably more popular in the business side, in the business realm, when we talk about the cannabis industry, which is something that we as an organization, as Denver NORML, we've also tried to educate the public about what is the industry doing and impacting our environment. So right now, as you may very well know, I mean, especially in Colorado, due to the climate, 90% of the grows are actually indoor. Now, that is something efficient when you want to talk about, you know, climatic or environment control. However, at the same time, it's put incredible constraints on the grid, on the electric grid, because so much light and so much energy is needed on a constant basis to produce the supply to meet the demand of the cannabis market. So right now, one big debate that has been, you know, currently going on in the city of Denver, that's where most of the grows are, you know, placed, regarding using more eco-friendly technology. So you see some, you know, grows that are using solar panels. You see a lot of companies that have been always focusing on energy efficiency right now are jumping into the cannabis industry because they can see a potential there with, you know, so many of the clients that are now desperately looking to cut down costs. Also because as more people enter the market, as more businesses open up, then the average price of the supply is going to decrease. I mean, it's just one of those, you know, fundamental economic, you know, variables of supply and demand that just, you know, the price of the product is going to decrease more and more as more people start producing it more effectively and more economically. So
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, there'll always be a connoisseur's market, I think, with cannabis, where, you know, like wine, you can produce it fairly cheaply, but there's going to be some expensive wine. Cannabis will probably be the same. You're going to have your cheap cannabis, but there'll be connoisseurs.
Sure,
stuff.
and there's brew your own wine places,
Right.
make your own beer places. You know, you could do your own crafting. That's part of the government not being involved, and you know, you got your choice. That's what everybody just wants, your own choice, not somebody else telling you from a higher place that, oh, I made this rule and now you can't do this. And not just for you, just for everybody else too. Right? You know, like the rules that they put it, there's gonna have to be something. No matter what,
Right.
there's going to be guidelines.
Yeah, right, and it's going to change over time. Like, you know, as we see what works and as we find out what doesn't, these rules are going to have to change. But, you know, it's odd. You guys, it seems like I'm just so jealous of what you guys have going on down there in a big way. It sounds like the politicians are listening, paying attention to things. Here we have this group of politicians who has really decided to build a mini monopoly system, an oligopoly of very few producers, and they're really not. They just don't have the best practices of what's going on in Colorado in mind, though they claim they do. They say that they've been on fact-finding missions down there to you guys to find the best things, but they didn't bring any of it back. So
That's for them.
yeah. So Andrea, I just wanted to ask you: are there some other topics that you wanted to touch on today before we part ways here? Are there other big stuff, any other big issues that are happening there in Colorado that you'd like to touch on?
Well, one of the things is that we have definitely focused on, especially the past legislative session, is actually how to educate people, but also how to really put into practice the way you reach out and you contact your legislatures or your elected officials. So, for example, we actually conducted a normal lobby day at the state of Colorado, so at the local level, and what we really wanted to practice for was basically putting together a legislative scorecard of all the politicians, so senators and also House representatives, in a way that people would understand where they stood regarding marijuana reforms, what were their past votes on marijuana-related bills, and of course always providing contact information for these elected officials so that people could reach out to them and know exactly from which district they were from, so they would know if that was their elected official or if they actually had to find their, on the scorecard on this list. So one thing that definitely we have seen as helpful, and we have hope that other chapters are going to use this information across the nation, is to be able to actually create sort of these lists of all their elected officials with all their contacts, and really be able to establish a line of communication with the people, with the members of the community and these elected officials, because it's good that they hear them out on a constant basis. It's not just to have constituents hear out their politicians every 2 years once they're in election season, but at the same time to really be able to maintain communication when bills are coming through, when laws are going to be applicated, and make sure that they hear our voice, and that they know there are people out there that are constantly and actively part of the democratic process.
What a great idea. We're going to have to steal that one. We need scorecards big time. Yeah, and it's really great to see the involvement of politicians on the. I remember looking at like a list of all the politicians. I think it was in Washington State and Colorado or something that were actually involved in this. And there's just a massive list of politicians that actually support the ballot initiative and got involved and really, do you have any tips on how to entice these politicians or get these guys? How did you guys do that? How did you get them all on board so quickly?
So it was definitely quite a process, and I also think Colorado is a very unique state, just because a lot of the politicians really, travel in their communities. So they're always out there. So, I mean, it definitely is a different line of politics that I thought was very unique and refreshing, especially, with what things have been going on in other states. But really the ability of contacting not just the legislative officials, but also their aides. So the people that actually work at the Capitol in Denver, in the city of Denver, and the way that everything works smoothly. So, for example, a lot of the times we can see websites that are on the Denver.gov, Colorado.gov websites that can actually link constituents to their representatives. And there's always calendar events with people coming through for town hall meetings. So really people are very actively engaged. And they know, these elected officials know that since there is a very clear line of communication and people are actively involved, they have to make sure that they listen in and they actually respect and advocate for what their constituents would like to see, especially regarding marijuana reforms. So I think whenever people don't really communicate on a constant basis with their politicians, when there is not a huge level of engagement, let's say on a monthly basis regarding town hall meetings, let's say conference events, seminars. So that's when I think people lose interest in the political process, and it becomes a lot easier for politicians than to drift one way or the other from private interest groups, because they are the only ones that would probably show up to the Capitol, show up to their office, schedule appointments, and so that's the only voice they hear. So definitely, just a constant engagement and repetition of the message, and as well for us as the local chapter of Denver NORML to make sure that we craft a proper, concise message for our constituents to constantly send to their officials.
Yeah, a lot of talking points and get that information packaged up so people can understand it.
Exactly, to make it as easy as possible for them to have the information, send it over, even schedule the appointments, or we can create events where we can bring them together and then have a line of a conversation with one of these officials, to really get something going, get the conversation, rolling.
Absolutely. So we also have Carly Marley in the house, and she has a question for you, Andrea.
Definitely.
I'm just curious because the current legal growers that we have right now in Canada for medical marijuana, a lot of them, there's been recent scandal using pesticides that actually can be considered quite harmful. And
illegal pesticides.
Illegal pesticides that they're not allowed to use. And I'm just curious, so we can kind of compare in comparison to what Health Canada has done and how they've handled these cases. How did Colorado handle the different pesticides and sprays and chemicals that some growers were using during the legalization process?
Absolutely. Well, one thing is really the differentiation that people would have to make between the medical system and the recreational system. And I'm just going to start, and I know it's going to sound ironic and actually just crazy why the system runs this way, which is supposed to be the exact opposite. You have more lab testing. So you actually have to send your batches. For every batch you make, you have to send, let's say, like a specific quantity to a certified lab testing facility that is approved by the Marijuana Enforcement Division in Colorado. And that will test for pesticides, microbials, heavy metals, all the good stuff that needs to be, vetted in order for people to then be safe to consume those products. The crazy part is that the medical system does not have at all, not even comparable to the level of restrictions and testing that the recreational market has to go through. That's something that actually came out of Governor John Hickenlooper back in 2014, when basically the sales of marijuana at the recreational level was first starting. And because I think he was much more afraid of any problems that might have arisen from somebody feeling sick from cannabis, and because the recreational market was going to be so much bigger, I think he really wanted to make sure that that market was much more vetted, closely vetted, because the medical system is not as extended as the recreational would be. Especially when you talk about all the tourists that are coming through, and literally anybody with an ID of 21, being 21 years old or above, can go into a dispensary and legally purchase cannabis. So I think he wanted to make sure that Colorado would not get a bad reputation from maybe, let's say, unfortunate cases, which I wouldn't say have happened, but I think that was the original paranoia that the legislative body had when they were just seeing the whole world flocking to Colorado to be able to consume cannabis recreationally. So the testing procedure, as I said, are more towards the recreational side. I think now they're focusing also on the medical, especially when it comes to second testing, because as one badge gets tested, and let's say that it has microbials or it doesn't, meet the minimum standards requirements to be able to be sold, that's when right now I think I can't remember the exact code of the bill, but it was just passed this past legislative session that they can go through a second trial testing, and that is because before, once the testing was done and they just determined that that batch was not good, they would have to destroy the entire batch. And sometimes that would be worth, tens of thousands of dollars, which could be quite crippling for a business that's just getting started, and they have to throw an entire harvest just because maybe one testing was not appropriately done. So right now they're giving second opinions to the market to make sure that, that doesn't happen again.
Right, no kidding. Wow.
You can't make edibles with that stuff? Geez.
Yeah, no, you figure you can do something. Wow, no, it's crazy. I mean, there's going to be so many of these things too. It's such a uncharted territory in a lot of ways that I think we really have a lot of learning to do. And it's been awesome to have you here, man, because I really like learning from you and knowing what's going on. Beneath sort of the headlines that we see from Colorado. We should have you back on the show more often. I should have you corresponding from Denver as our Denver correspondent on a regular basis or something. If you're cool with that.
Hey, do you get to smoke weed outside at your 420 event?
Oh yeah, did you? So you guys had a big 420 event there in Denver, right? You guys had a big 420, but what happened there? I mean, we heard.
Yeah, so technically there's a whole group that lobbies for the 420 rally. That's what it's called. And this time, I mean, it's every year. The municipality complains that there's garbage, that people are littering. To be honest, a lot of the activists, kind of see this as, one of those average complaints to always throw the blame on, cannabis consumers.
Yeah.
To be honest, with the millions of dollars that they're raising from, tax revenues, and I mean, they're investing it for good purposes, for example, repairing roads, or assisting, school districts that are underfunded. So definitely a lot of good things. And I say, why not use also that money to cover the 420 rallies, since it really is an event that attracts people from all over the world. So, I mean, even people at the city level should be happy that there's an influx of tourists who even generate more revenue for the local economy. But definitely, the 420 rally, it's been something going on, I think, since, I can't remember, 2010, 2009, since the medical system, first really started. And yeah, just since then, it's been growing larger and larger. They're always trying to find new venues, but the one that always works the best is the one, basically it's a park in front of the Capitol, right at the heart of downtown Denver.
But are you allowed to smoke weed during that event? Like
can you smoke there? Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, they all smoke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
cool.
when we do a cannabis farmers market at our event where we have over 400 or close to 500 vendors openly selling marijuana and edibles and all kinds of stuff like that. Do you guys, does the farmers market concept happen down there at any of your protests?
No. So actually, that was quite interesting. You're mentioning the fact that you can have 400 to 500 vendors openly selling cannabis. Unfortunately, here you have to have a specific license and a premise for you to sell any product that contains a psychoactive material. Of course, that's why the CBD market has really grown exponentially here, because then you could sell it, with any sales tax license given by the state of Colorado or by that municipality, to be precise. And also for the fact that you could have many different channels of distribution. So you can sell CBD-related products in nutritional supplement markets. You can even give it out to certain supermarkets. I think they're now starting to sell them online. So definitely the venues are much more open out there. And yeah, I mean, we wish that we could have that ease and convenience of being able to just set up a booth and sell the products. Unfortunately, there are greater restrictions. And also that comes due because they want to make sure that every business is vetted properly, and there is, just regulation and regulation from the MED, the Marijuana Enforcement Division, and they keep track of all the cannabis businesses.
Right. Well, it makes, it's kind of a give and take, We can have the sort of anarchistic idea of it all, where it's just all running free and everything. But you watch what happens. It'll get corrupted and destroyed just like it would if you did that with regular businesses. There has to be some level of regulation, at least at some point.
I like the level of regulation we have at our 420 events. That's the level of regulation that we really need. That the level of regulation we had for all the dispensaries in Vancouver before they decided to regulate them. Those self-regulating
if they could show,
it was work.
Right. If they could show some harms, if there was some harms that anybody could show from what we do at 420, I'm definitely not advocating for any regulation of 420 or dispensaries. I think the farmers market model should be allowed. You should be openly allowed to sell cannabis unless somebody is getting hurt. I mean,
public
but I'm a libertarian.
Should be facilitating, not impeding.
Right, exactly.
Okay, there's going to be federal guidelines, but what I'm scared about is that it goes to the provincial level, and they add their little bit. Then it goes to municipal, and they add their little bit. Then your little town, then your little strata, then your next thing you know, it's still prohibition.
Yes.
Somebody else is still telling you what you could do, everything like that.
Right.
The guidelines are fine. Okay, if they want an age restriction. Okay, you got to believe in some of that, and we got to give and pull no matter what on some of this, right? But it's guidelines, and I'm scared once it gets down lower and lower, you got a bylaw officer knocking on your door once a day.
Yeah, well, and it's true. And I think there's a difference, just like with a farmer's market, they allow for farmer's markets where people can come and bring their natural produce and sell it with few regulations. But if you're going to be an apple farmer and you're going to have orchards and you're going to sell it on a mass market, there's definitely going to be regulations associated with that, and those make sense. And you have to have them so you don't have people getting poisoned or whatever. They're putting, nasty pesticides on things, and these corporations are going to try to get away with whatever they can. So, it's a fine balance between those 2 points, I think, where you don't want to go too far with the regulations, but they have to be targeted to the right people. They have to be, opening up access and making things as free as possible, but also as safe as possible.
We're all for for reasonable regulations, for sure.
For sure.
But that's not what we got going on right now.
Andrea, I wanted to ask you. You were talking about the taxes collected. Do you know some of the numbers? Like, how much are you guys collecting in taxes for marijuana down there right now?
Well, I think now. I think the last report was coming out of May 2017, and the state of Colorado, since legalization, has been able to raise a little bit more than $500 million in tax revenue. Jesus. So that's definitely a huge number for the state. And I mean, we're just talking about Colorado that has 5 million people, actually 5.5. I mean, crazy numbers are going to come out of California when we're talking about having almost 10 times the size of the state of Colorado. And, it's just going to be an insane market over there. I mean, the industry, it's going to grow exponentially, especially when it comes to using that money for good purposes, to fund, rehabilitation clinics, to fund, to basically maybe even assist the police departments to actually, counteract real epidemics like the opioid epidemics, like the prescription and painkillers epidemics that's going on in the United States. But definitely one positive things that we've seen here in Colorado is, first of all, in aid to certain school districts, which I think is very important. But at the same time, just overall, really being able to use the money for the local community, which I think is very important.
That's a hell of a lot of money.
Is the cost of enforcement down? Are they still arresting people that are outside of the system? How's that working?
Oh, no, I mean, the arrests have definitely dropped significantly, when it comes to, people that have been arrested for marijuana consumption, marijuana usage, and even cultivation. One other thing that we've seen is the drop in teenage use, which is something that a lot of people were very skeptical at first. They were like, oh, you're going to legalize cannabis and you're going to have 12-year-olds smoking joints on the side of the playground. But the one thing that we have seen, time and time again, and I mean, unfortunately, we didn't have too many examples before Colorado. One thing was Amsterdam, or just as a country, the Netherlands. You can see that because cannabis has been part of their culture for so long, and so many people sort of, connected the image of the Netherlands with smoking cannabis and consuming cannabis, it almost played a backwards effect on the population by saying, oh, we don't want to be associated with cannabis and just be that. We're so much more than that. And so they kind of started seeing more of as like a regular commodity and not as something that they wanted to, utilize at all costs. So I would say prohibition, not only from the side of being dangerous because you feed the black market and you arrest people and you incarcerate them for, very stupid reasons. There's also the fact that you make something very attractive in a sense that people crave it even more because they cannot get it. That's just a very basic human psychological response to something. You take it away from them and that's what they want it. So I would say definitely in Colorado, because it's so readily available. Right now, it literally feels like you could go buy alcohol. You walk into the shop, you need to have your ID. Something that before it could have been way easier for a teenager to get marijuana, because they could just go to their brother, they could go to their friend, go to their dealer. Right now, because it's restricted and you're not going to have a lot of people in the black market just because it's just not feasible and not profitable.
You don't need the black market anymore.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
what does a gram of weed cost typically now?
A gram of weed, I would say probably around, and this is the recreational market, probably around $6, $6 to $7.
That's pretty good. And but plus tax?
No, I mean, I would say when you go to like good dispensaries that are now open, multiple locations and can give you a good price to quantity ratio, it tends to be after tax, so $6 to $7.
And how many dispensaries are there in the state now?
Oof, there are a lot, Jeremy.
Just tons, huh? And so, like in Denver, for example, give me a ballpark. Do you even know?
I would say probably just in the Denver metropolitan area, and this comprises Denver, Aurora, and there's a whole bunch of cities. But just the Denver metropolitan area, I would say accounts for more than 50% of all dispensaries in the state, and I would say there are probably around 400 of them.
Wow.
And how many people would have licenses to produce cannabis for those dispensaries?
So that's when it gets a little bit tricky because right now they're shifting certain regulations to make it easier for the different licenses to work. So you have the MIPs, which stands for the marijuana infused products. You have the OPC, which is the operational premise cultivation license. And then there is the MMC, Medical Marijuana Center, or RMC, Recreational Marijuana Center. So when it comes to growing, if you're on the recreational side, you can just be a cannabis grower wholesaler. So you just grow cannabis and you just wholesale it. But when you're on the medical side, you have to have your own sort of vertical integrated grow. So when the people first started, they had everything vertical integrated. So I would say there were as many growers as there were dispensaries. I would say right now they're probably decreasing. I cannot give you an exact estimate, but let's say if there are 400 dispensaries in the Denver metropolitan area, there's probably like 250 growers. I would say half.
Wow.
Of that.
So it's not that many actually, because really, like for here, for example, our growers are everywhere, man.
Well, licensed producers, we've got, what, 32?
Well, we don't have any, I mean, really, in terms of, there's no licensed producers allowed to give marijuana to any dispensary in Canada. If you're a licensed producer, you have to send your marijuana through the mail to get it to your clients. That's the only way to get it to your clients currently. They're setting up a system where we're going to, those federal licensed producers will be able to provide 2 dispensaries provincially, but they're still limiting the number of them. And right now, I mean, the black market here that, we have in Vancouver, we probably have, 150 to 200 dispensaries now?
Over 100 for sure.
Yeah, over 100 dispensaries. I mean, that number has gone down since enforcement started to pick up. We had 180 at one time. But the growers outweigh that by, I mean, there's probably, providing to those dispensaries, there's a lot of growers. I mean, it's a hard number to judge, but I would think that it's probably more than the number of dispensaries by double.
Most dispensaries are supported by their own growers.
Yeah.
So
and there's multiples at each dispensary.
And there's growers that serve multiple dispensaries too. So it is
That's
hard
true.
to say.
It is. Yeah, I guess that's a tough one because nobody's registered anywhere.
That's
so
right. They're not licensed. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate having you on, man. I mean, this has been fantastic just to learn, some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes down there. But yeah, let's drop the podcast info. Where can people watch it? How do they get in tune with what you're doing down there?
Yeah, so the first line they could reach out to is the Denver NORML website. So they can go on Denver, DENVER, normal, NORML.org. And there's going to be a podcast section where they can listen into all the episodes that we have released so far. We're also on iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Auto Radio. It's spelled OTTO, Auto Radio. It's been growing in California pretty big, so we've also decided to put ourselves on that platform. But yeah, and of course our partner, which is Wheatstream Radio, and their website is wheatstream.net. They are also sponsoring and having the podcast on their website for people to listen on to. So definitely we are spreading ourselves to not only the more mainstream podcast platforms where they can download our content, but also cannabis-related platforms, to really make sure that as many people as possible can listen in and learn more about the different topics that we're talking about.
Awesome. Andrea Fasoli from Denver NORML and the new podcast, A Normal Week in America. Tune in. Thanks a lot, man, for coming on.
Yeah, brother.
Really appreciate having you here.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we'll have you back again soon, for sure. So, I'll give you a shout as soon as I can. Peace, brother.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
Yeah, you
Bye-bye.
too. Thanks. So, I'm back here. So, there you go. That was great.
Whoa, that guy he was on point. He was on point, that young man. Good arguments.
NORML does amazing work. They've been doing stuff for over 40 years in the United States. They really were at the heart of everything that's happened down there with these ballot initiatives. And, the other groups like Marijuana Policy Project and some of these groups. The activism is strong with our southern neighbors.
It is strong, baby. It is strong.
Yeah. So
it's always fighting.
So, yeah, check that out, A Normal Week in America. And check out if you live in, not just in Denver, but all across the United States, check out a NORML chapter in your area because there's likely to be one somewhere in your state. And if not, then start one yourself.
There you go,
contact the
there
national.
you go.
When we do have a NORML
Ancestors.
Canada as well. We have NORML Canada. Mm-hmm. It's out east. And it's not quite as large as its American counterpart, but man, we probably should start like a local chapter of NORML Canada and start.
There's not one in Vancouver?
I don't think it works like that up here.
They're not very active if they are.
Okay.
I've never.
I thought there was.
I haven't heard of them if they're here,
was.
but we've missed them somehow.
I see.
But so I wanted to. We're going to come back. We have Macho Camel here from the Legends
yeah.
Valley Music Festival. We have Neil Magnuson and Carly Marley in the house.
Oh yeah.
What's up, guys? What's that?
JD's my name. I'm Broken Racket.
Oh, Broken Racket's here. Broken Racket came
coming
down.
to pick up the dick.
Broken Racket.
Right on, brother. Now there you go.
Nice.
That is awesome.
That's one way to get your tickets.
That is one way to make sure your tickets are in hand.
Oh, nice, man. That's the best way.
Wow.
Is it okay to put the camera on you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh, what a pickup. What a pickup. That was dynamite.
There's the hot seat.
Good to
No,
hear.
that's the wrong one. There it is.
I believe
There
he won.
it is.
He won the Friday nights, right? It was
Which
the
one?
Friday nights. It was yours.
Was it the first or?
It was the.
Oh, it was the MMJ one you won. It was MMJ. So here we are. That's there you are. He's got his tickets.
He's got it.
Beautiful.
But try out that 707.
Cool. We're gonna smoke this.
It's a hemp too, so there's no tobacco.
Nice. It's a hemp blunt. So, that's very cool that you came down to the studio. And yes, for the other people that are out there that won tickets, please come down and get them. That makes it way easier.
Oh, that's way easier.
It's so Carly Marley. We're gonna come back and talk about the Legends Valley in a little bit here, but Carly Marley's here. She worked on a video all day long today, or for a good part of the day, to play on today's show about an upcoming event, and maybe Carly wants to walk us through what's going on. Or should the video do it itself?
Maybe we can just let the video do its work and see how that goes, and then I can explain some of the details as well.
The problem with the video is I haven't actually loaded it up yet. So, Macho, maybe you light this blunt.
All right. Okay, brother.
And you do that? Right. That's right. And I'm going to get this video up here so we can actually watch it. And Carly, why don't you actually tell people, just briefly, tell them what's going on.
So we're going to be participating in Pride again this year, the cannabis community, that is. Dana worked with the dispensary, and they've set up a float this year again.
Sensible BC, actually.
Yeah, Sensible BC. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The event is Sunday. If you're interested in participating, coming down, they're still looking for volunteers. We're going to be getting ready at about 11 a.m.
Nelson and Thurlow, basically.
Yep. And then not long after that, we're going to go down the parade route, down Robson, Denman, end up at English Bay, and then there's a big party down at English Bay, and it's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite events, actually, that I get to attend as a part of the cannabis community, because everyone's so happy. It's so much excitement in the air. Everyone really wants to be there. It's colorful and it's great. It's great. I'm so excited. So I wanted to put together a little video with Dana, just kind of explaining why it is that we decided to participate in Pride.
I got to say, there's something else really exciting going on that day with that float as well. We're going to have a soft launch of a candidate for the upcoming civic election event.
I heard about that.
That's really exciting. Stay tuned for that.
That is awesome.
Something to get behind.
Very cool.
We all getting behind it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm gonna press the button on this and see what happens. It may just go, but it may. Oh no, it cut your head off. Here we go. So I'm gonna make it big. There it is. Now we're watching. Digitally. Enjoy the video, guys.
The cannabis community's been involved in the Pride Parade for quite a few years now. And for the past about 3 years, we've really been getting into it in a big way, making a lot of effort with our floats and having a great time. It's a lot of fun, and I think we can show our pot pride. We can reach out to the LGBTQ community and show our support for them. And although they're separate issues, to me all these issues are really kind of intertwined. They're all about human liberty and self-expression and being who you want to be, and so I think it's a great time. All these kind of issues to me are correlated, and if we want people to stand up for us, we got to stand up for them. I think that's just part of being a good citizen. First of all, we're all just human beings who want to live our lives and not be oppressed or beaten up or arrested or harassed or fired from our jobs or lose our children because of the life we live or the way we're made or the preferences that we have. Human rights issues are connected, and ultimately it's about human dignity, about living your life the way you choose, and about not judging or attacking or hurting or punishing other people for the things that they choose to do in their own home. Being in the Pride Parade, it's so much fun. And I hope that one day our 420 events can get the same kind of public support from the city, and from the park board, and from the community that the Pride Parade does, because I think that's where we want to be going to.
Yeah, Dana. And yeah, Carly.
Oh yeah, brother.
Good work. Great video.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Great
it's going to be
work,
fun.
Carly.
That's this weekend. It's Sunday, right?
Yes, this Sunday.
Sunday. Very cool. Hey, what happened to our hot seat? Oh, whoops, the video. Now the video's taking over our hot seat cam. Hold on a second. I'm going to go like that. There you go. Now we can see you. Great video, though.
Thank
Your
you.
video skills are very advanced.
So be at Thurlow and Nelson by 11:30 Sunday if you want to come and have some fun.
And there's there's
And
contest
celebrate freedom, right?
subject.
That's what it's all about. We're proud to.
Miles, the contest subject.
There you go.
That was he was the answer to the question. Wait, was that your question?
That was I asked the question, but it was regarding.
I couldn't. The page was like DDoS from everybody trying to look it up. It wouldn't load.
That's
I'm
funny.
on like a friggin' 150 meg connection, and nothing was happening.
That's hilarious. Oh, there's the bud cam on the computer. Nice. So, what are we doing next? So we played the video. Now we're talking about Legends Valley. So we've got to
Legends
Friday.
Valley, baby, Legends Valley.
We got as far as Friday so far.
Okay, we got to Friday.
We got to Friday. So
Now, we kind of discussed what we might do. We discussed earlier the wildfires that are going on all through the province and all that.
Yes.
And that maybe we could start maybe an auction, a silent auction for the next week here. And what we'll do is we'll give away 2 general admission passes. It's worth over $400 altogether with your taxes, GST, and the ticket fee. So maybe we can get a fund going, even if it's $50, $150, $250. It would be nice, and we could put into that the BC Wildfire Fund and make sure people that are been evacuated from their homes. They've lost everything.
there we go.
Wow, that's very nice.
Look at
there
that
we go.
from
There's the
our
first
from
dollar.
our homie there. Wait, what was the handle again? What was what was your name on the
Broken Racket?
Broken Racket?
It's because it's Broken Racket on New School Breaks Radio in London, UK. That's my radio show.
Oh, you got a radio show.
Yeah,
Hey,
JD13 is the DJ name.
there you go.
You need a microphone
Yeah,
so
give
that our
this guy a
guests can hear
microphone.
that.
Here, hold on. You can take my microphone.
All right, so.
There you go.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. There you go.
JD, that's my name. JD St. Michael, Facebook.com/JDSTM. But if you want my artist stuff, I'm not on SoundCloud because I do too many good mixes. I got 3 strikes in one day. So it was http://JD13. And you can stream and download from there. Or you can go to the New School Breaks radio site. It's nsbradio.co.uk. And that's in London, England. I'm JD13. And hey guys, I got an idea. What if we start a rehab that allows you to take marijuana as part of the program? Because I think that's something that we need, and there's not enough doctors out there and going to help us do this. We need more beds that accept marijuana because people need treatment, and marijuana is a part of the process. So
we have right here the Cannabis Substitution Project. We'll get Neil to talk about that after, but you're onto something, brother.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Legend Valley's looking pretty sick. That lineup looks super dope.
Yeah.
You guys should check it out if you don't know.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Awesome.
How's that headband?
It's delicious.
Tasty.
It's tasty, brother. It's tasty.
Damn nice. And so these tickets, I just want to say, these are for 1 day each, the ones we gave away, those first ones. Now, if those people show up and they want to stay for longer, they want to get a ticket for the rest, are there still tickets available at the door when they get there kind of thing? Is that even possible?
Yes, there is still tickets at the door. The day passes do get you into the now High Times Cannabis Cup Expo. Right, there's already over 50 vendors already signed up, and it sounds like there's going to be another at least 20 or 30 more vendors. It will be double the village of last year, and if everybody remembers, the village was pretty fun.
Yeah, the village is cool.
A lot of good people there. This year it's going to be a little busier. We've heard ticket sales seem to be on the rise, and I tell you, it looks like there's going to be at least double the people there. Now, if I can go over who else is showing up to the show. And now, first of all, ask me about High Times.
Macho Camel, what about High Times?
Did you guys hear what happened? High Times has decided to take over the show and take over the production of what it was to be Vial Cup.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They asked us for a long time. They really wanted to come to Canada and have a High Times Cannabis Cup right here.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome that they chose that one too because it's on Vancouver Island.
It is on the island, and it's just going to make it bigger.
Yeah.
It is going to make it bigger. And now I can say this year, it's Bio Cup rules with High Times Cannabis Cup trophies. So if you win first place, you could claim yourselves as a High Times champion.
That's fantastic.
Right?
That's very cool. And yeah, the High Times guys were actually here for the past couple of days.
were.
We were hanging out with one of the homies from High Times. I guess they had to hit the road, but
Yeah, and they did a site visit to Lake Town Ranch, which is one of the nicest facilities. Right, flush toilets, running water, showers, the whole bit. It's not just your regular festival, right? So now I'd like to go over some of the other people who are playing for
yes,
sure. Now
we want to hear about. But
Right.
just again about the High Times thing, man. The High Times Cannabis Cup. These guys have them all around the world. I've been to one in Amsterdam before.
Yep.
They're all over the
Yep.
place. I mean, most people that watch the show are going to be familiar with that.
Yeah.
There's just endless stuff, and you can go to their website. Is it just cannabiscup.com?
CannabisCup.com.
Yeah.
You get all the information to all the other cups to do.
Yeah. And it has a link to your guys' website.
It has a
at
link
Legends Valley.
right to the Legends
Yeah.
Valley, and you can go buy your tickets there. Because I can't really say anything now, but there is big announcements coming.
Yes. We thought we were going to announce it on the
We
show
thought-
today.
we thought
we were, but
we thought.
we're not allowed yet.
Nah.
So as
So-
soon as we can, we're going to announce it.
Right, rumors and innuendos right now.
It's
We're
big
gonna have to
news,
let
though.
that fly for the next week.
It's pretty big news, I gotta
It is
say.
pretty big
Some of the
news.
biggest that I've heard, like related
So-
to a festival to do with cannabis, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is going to make it the largest festival ever in Canada for a multi-day event for sure. Right, but
Don't give away too
unfortunately,
much.
we can't say
Don't
now.
give away too much.
Right, that's the worst. But we have still lots of bands I haven't even mentioned.
I know.
Mentioned. Right, we're going away with Getaway Sticks, Cocaine Mustache, Power Clown, Dayglow Abortions,
Yeah.
Forgotten Rebels.
That's
in
awesome.
A row. Sorry, I got a little close to the mic. I get excited. You know what I mean? Holy cow! And then we go with Matt the Alien. Right, doing the last set of the night to settle everybody down.
Dropping
but he
those-
never settles anybody
that
down.
heavy-
Everybody starts dancing.
Heavy electronic, dubstep, baby, some
Main
trap and
stage, we
shit.
got Anti-Political, Delinquent Habits, who you were mentioning.
Oh my God.
They just even released a brand new album.
Wow.
I gotta say, Macho Camel, got to see him in Vienna like 2 months ago. Wow, what a fucking show. Oh, what a show.
They are amazing. You can swear all you want on
Oh,
here.
I see.
But you don't swear in character, you said.
Oh.
Or wait, it was the other way around. Yeah, Macho Camel's a
Macho Camel
friendly,
hardly ever swears.
family-friendly guy. Family-friendly.
Get your mouth washed out with
Especially
the soap.
those
That's what
Speedos.
happens. That's what happens.
That's what your daddy did?
No, Grandma. Twice. It was the worst stage of shit. Worst stage of stuff ever.
Yes, you're very family-friendly in your Speedo.
All right, Grandma. Well, you know, hey, Grandma's like 98 years old, still lives alone, still cooks her own dinner, everything like that. She's most
Ah.
I never know.
Wow, does she wear the glasses and the sequins as well?
She's way more macho than me.
Is she watching the
She's
show?
way more macho
Is
than
she
me, you know what
watching
I
the
mean?
show?
She's watching now, yeah.
Well, you know what? Grandma's,
Send her the link.
Grandma's always loved the grandchildren, don't they? No matter what.
Of course, of
All
course.
right, so that's how it
Somebody's got to love that face.
All right, somebody. And I'm the oldest grandchild. Love you, Grandma. Hey, Ma.
She likes you better with the beard, though.
Well, you know, hey,
We all do.
Got to change it up. It's growing back. Don't worry, it's already growing back. It's like 2 days old.
So wait, Delinquent Habits, that is unbelievable to me. That is so awesome.
They are awesome.
I have loved these guys for years. They're old school, like
Very
Soul
old school.
Assassins
California
related.
hip-hop.
Tres Delinquentes, man. There's a song that's one of my favorite songs, Lower East Side.
yeah.
Lower East Side by Delinquent
that's a
Habits.
great
Check that
song.
song
They
out.
do have a new
Play it
album out.
loud in your car with a lot of bass because it's probably one of the bassiest songs you'll ever hear.
Gotcha. They do have it.
Yeah, it is very summery. Yeah, I love that. They have a brilliant style of music. They got the Latin influence in it.
Yeah, they got that.
They rap in
Mexican,
Spanish.
Latin kinda,
Yeah,
and
they
it's
rap in
the
Spanish.
California hip hop.
Yeah,
kind of
and
sound.
English, Spanish and English,
And
mostly
you know what?
English.
When I
but-
saw them live, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
And then they had 900, 1,200 Austrian kids all jumping around and everything. It was so good to see, man. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Now,
Very
we
cool.
also going, one of last year's favorites. We almost asked the question, who finished the show for us last year? And they even double setted because Cottonmouth Kings couldn't show up. Ooh. And then it was Five Alarm Funk.
Five Alarm
Five
Funk.
Alarm Funk was playing, right? We also got Sloan. That, like, come on, Canadian. You know,
That's huge by itself.
11-time nominees
Yeah.
for Junos.
Sloan is massive.
Hey,
One of the
come on,
biggest
brothers
bands
and
in the
sisters.
country for years.
Right.
Like they're huge.
And you know, and then we also got Tomorrow's Midnight, Funk Dubious is coming back.
My favorite show from last year, by far. Just blew everybody away.
What an amazing, and it was the most interactive show that I've ever
Yeah, he got right in the crowd.
He's the nicest guy.
Sun Doobie is
Sun
such
Doobie
a. See, we got all these.
loves his
we
fans.
got House of Pain, we got Delinquent Habits, and we got Funk Dubious. You got basically half the Soul Assassins right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Writing songs with each other.
Yeah.
Right, putting the music together back like, 90, 93.
Yeah.
Like that was back then. And these guys are legends, man.
They are.
And have sold way more albums than me or you heard.
A hell of a lot more.
Right?
Yeah, they're
and this
all.
is when albums were albums, or cassettes at least.
That's why
Right.
they call it the Legends Valley.
That Legends Valley.
There you go. That's fantastic.
You
And yeah,
check out their
Sun
numbers,
Doobie,
and it's amazing how many albums they did.
Funk Dubious always dropping bomb albums, lyrics, and Sun Doobie was also at 420 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Raekwon were at the big event this year. So, and a whole bunch of other people. Yeah, man, that's very cool. Lots of great music.
We got Delhi to
Massive.
Dublin. I don't want to forget them. They're going to be.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be on the main stage on Sunday, right?
Beautiful.
And that's not including the judges like Dana.
Yeah, celebrity
Carly
judges.
just had Dana on.
Yeah, we have
She's a
Carly
celebrity
Marley.
judge,
Look
yeah.
at there she is, celebrity
Yeah,
judge.
see? And she's
I'm a celebrity judge this year as well.
Are you a celebrity judge too?
I am.
There you are.
I'll be opening the show
Be
as
dabbing
I
together.
did last year.
Yeah.
with Old
He is
Cannabis.
doing Old Cannabis.
And,
He's
we're
got to
doing it
play.
every
He's
day
got to
of the
rock it.
festival.
He's gonna be
Gotta
singing.
rock it, Neil.
Yeah, you guys
Right.
have a lot of work. See, last year the celebrity judges had to do all this work.
brother will rock.
Yeah, it was
That
like
brother will
25
rock.
hours worth of work. You have to go through meetings, committees. It's a pretty big job.
It's a big job.
You guys have
It's a big job.
I wish you the best.
You know what though?
Right.
I've got to say, most of the time when one of these events happen, you have like half the people smoke their kit, half don't. Half the people who like actually fill out the contest cards don't get them all the way filled out.
That's
or if
true.
they do, they're not really sure, and they're like, meh, what did you think? And ask their friends, and they're really
course,
unsure.
of course.
And you smoke them back to back. So I actually kind of like the idea that the judging is a little bit in a more controlled environment because there's actually going to be reliable results.
It's serious work until you've smoked
It's
the first
serious
few
work. It's serious
first few
work.
things out of your kit, and then it starts
Right.
getting less serious after that, and
yeah.
that's the point of the whole thing, But
But now,
yeah.
so wait, how does the voting work? Is the public allowed to vote as well then, or no?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
There is 110 People's Choice bags, right? It's $600, but that gives you a VIP ticket, which is already $400 value. Drink tickets, meals, everything like that. Every time the main stage is going. So basically, for the cost of putting the bag together, you're gonna get. Last year we had 46 entries, including all the different products. That's not including T-shirts, stickers, papers, everything like that. That's thrown in the bag too by all the great companies that are already joining or are rejoining from last year. I gotta say, it's been a great response. Everybody wants in this, to join in, and it's great to see all these companies that are going to get together too.
Very cool. And how do we at Pod TV secure ourselves a package?
Well, you guys are media, baby. You guys are media. Carly Marley's even got the celebrity judge.
Oh, you
right?
have-
she gets
right.
treated even a little bit
you
different.
gotta
than
share now,
media.
Carly.
You get put down to the media pit, brother.
Oh, I love the pit.
Media pit.
But what I really am interested in is the bag of goodies. That's what I'm really interested in.
That giggle.
That's what I want to show off on Pod TV. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, you know what?
The more we poke the camera
Yeah,
into
it's
the bag
just
of
so we can
goodies,
show it off
I'm
on
sure
Pod
you'll
TV.
be able
I'm not
to
going to
Only
smoke
reason
any of
he
it,
wants
but
we'll be able to show it off. Maybe even the week before the show.
2 more shows before.
That would be-
There's 2 more shows.
yeah, it's coming soon, very soon. What give the dates away again here?
It's
23rd?
23rd to 27th for us Canadians. They're promoting it down there as the 25th to 27th for their vendors because the way weekend flights go. So Canada Day is Thursday. Canada vendors, we're out there. We're going to have a great time with Daniel Wesley and Katanya, all right? And then Friday, the bigger bands get there and all the American vendors will be opening their tents.
Very cool.
On the Friday morning and do, and have a great show. And let's have a meeting of the minds, all the different businesses, everything like that.
Going to be awesome. The Legends Valley Music Festival, now the High Times Cannabis Cup at
High Times
the
Cannabis
Legends
Cup.
Valley Music Festival. Check them out. Oh, wait, do we have more? We have
Oh,
more
yeah,
to give
brother.
away.
Let me get in character
We got
one more time. One more time. Oh, yeah.
We got more tickets.
All right. So this is the Saturday night. Get you in the Saturday night.
Women's body count.
Well, they're on there, so that's what I mean. That's the time right there, right? So here you go. We're gonna come up with something. Anybody got an idea for? I know. When did BC Bud Depot win the High Times Cannabis Cup for the Perps? We won in Amsterdam, and it was for the Perps. First person on, what are you going to call it?
Oh, I guess this one's going to be a coin flip.
Coin flip.
To see who gets it. Heads is
Coin
Facebook,
flip.
tails is YouTube. It's tails again. YouTube is getting it all tonight.
YouTube it is. YouTube it is.
Facebook's getting screwed, so YouTube it is. Here we go, YouTube. Are you out there? Question for the YouTubers. Do we have one? It was didn't you come? What you
Just said it.
I just said it.
What was the question again, though? Give it to him.
I don't know, bro. I always forget. I get
What?
What year did they win for
What
Terps?
year? No, you gotta say it again though, so they have it.
I just blew it. I'm gonna ask another.
Oh,
I had a question.
All right.
You didn't give away the year though. That's the question.
I did kind of quickly slip it.
Oh, you slipped the year in? Oh. I just wanted you to
caught that,
I just
they
wanted you to
deserve it.
repeat the question for the ones who weren't following.
But you know what? We've won other high times Cannabis Cup, so it could be an easy question.
So, but wait, somebody wrote 2009? Was that what did you say? What was the year
For Terps.
Yeah,
No, for the Perps.
it was the Perps.
He gets.
Yeah,
He gets.
he got him. So he got 2009.
He gets him. He
So,
gets him.
all right, there we go.
Right,
Okay,
so,
good.
right.
Beautiful. So that was Be Damned.
Right.
Be damned.
There you go. I'm telling you. 2 Saturday tickets.
Saturday
Great
tickets.
show. All stages going. Neil's be a speaker. He'll be around there. He's going to sing Old Cannabis on the big main stages each night. Just to open up the show because we need it.
There you
All
go.
right. Good win, bud.
That's fantastic. Be damned. You can send me an email, jeremiah@cannabisculture.com. If you can't make it down to the studio and grab them, like Broken Racket did earlier.
Made it down, bro.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the Legends Valley Festival, the big show today. Thanks to everybody who came on today. We have all kinds of shows on Pot TV now. We have one. Where are you pointing that? Yeah, there it is. It's not out of the.
Take it by glory,
A little
brother.
closer to
Take
you.
it by muscle glory.
Oh yeah, point it. Then Neil, tell him. Before we go, I was going to give the roster of shows, but I forgot to tell Neil to tell the audience about the Cannabis Substitution Project.
Yeah, just for a minute. I mean, we've been doing this for 5 months now. We put together a program of getting donations of cannabis, edibles, caps, seeds, and cannabis itself. And we've been handing out care packs pretty much once a week, every Saturday at Vandu. We'll be there again tomorrow. We've got a lot. Green Wilderness is come through this week as well with a whole bunch of care packs of edibles for us, or packs of edibles that are going to go into the care packs. But I just heard it on the news today. Second month in a row, the overdose deaths are down on the downtown east side. And I think that's maybe got a lot to do with what we're doing there. We're not only saturating the area with thousands of dollars worth of edibles and cannabis through our donations, but we're causing quite an interesting vibe down there about cannabis as a substitution and how it's working for people. There's a lot of enthusiasm about it. So that's really awesome. And I know that there's some filmmakers going to come and have a look at what we're doing as well, coming right up. And the media is going to start to interview us. They've already done one interview with Sarah Blythe, who's running a sort of a parallel thing with edibles at her overdose prevention site. And she endorses us as well. They're right on there. And so, yeah, we're really enthusiastic about this program because it's saving lives and it's making a big difference. And I'm sure not just on the downtown east side, but cannabis as a substitution for anybody out there. If you know anybody that's involved in these other substances, cannabis extracts work really well. Cannabis edibles are more potent. They last longer. They really can replace the use of opioids, for people or for many people. So think of that as a substitution. Get involved if you can. You can find us on Facebook, Cannabis Substitution Project, or myself on Facebook. And if you've got any donations, come on down to Vandu on a Saturday or look at the Facebook pages when we post it. We will be there. Or get a hold of me and we'll arrange for you to pick those up and to use those. So thanks to all those that have helped us so far and all those that will. And please get involved or spread the word about cannabis as a substitution for the opioids in this real critical time that we're in right now. They've almost had 800 overdoses this year in the province. And that's how many they had in all of last year. So, this is a really horrible thing that's going on.
800 lives.
Cannabis is a very safe, effective alternative and can be effective for many people. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we want people to help us with. Thanks, Jeremiah.
Yeah, for sure. Way to go. And Be Damned actually was just, but Neil, I mean, you guys are doing amazing work there. Totally really amazing, and I hope that catches on. And I do like Broken Racket's idea of a rehab center that has the core part of it.
I have
That's
actually
a
heard
damn
of
good
one
idea.
down in the States. I can't remember
Really?
what state it was. Yeah, but there is somebody who they had gone through programs themselves many times. Often the coordinators of these programs have. And they...
Is that Mike? Yeah, that Mike is doing something odd. Yeah, just use Neil's for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but there's somebody who had been through a program many times themselves, and it didn't really work for them. And then when they incorporated cannabis in their own program, it worked really well. And now they're not even a heavy cannabis user or anything. They just, it helped, and so they're doing the same thing with other people. And it's a
We should do
it's
it.
a space where it's accepting that, you know, cannabis is a plant. It's not a substance
Call it
that
the-
people need to get clean of in the same way.
The Broken Racket Rehabilitation Center.
What I was gonna say is,
Yeah.
all you bubble hash makers out there, you know, when you have the bubble hash at the end, it's wet, and then the weed's wet, and you throw it away. You can take that weed and put it in a slow cooker for 24 hours and strain it. Put in some coconut oil. The water's already in there from making the bubble hash, and then take it down and donate it to these guys, and they can make it into edibles. So
That'd
if
be
you're
awesome,
a bubble hash
yeah.
maker, just remember that stuff's not a throwaway. That's a precursor to making the coconut oil. Don't make it in Phoenix Tears. We already have enough watered down shady Phoenix Tears. Stick to the ECR.
Yeah, we've got a couple of good bakers working with us. Any flower donations we get part of it goes to rolling joints, the other part goes into making edibles.
Yes.
Cannabis is harm reduction, absolutely, and we all know it's a supplement to our endocannabinoid system as well. So it's like taking vitamins. And these people that are on the downtown east side have a lot of different barriers that they deal with, a lot of physical ailments and things like that. So cannabis is also helping with a lot of that stuff. We're getting great reports from the people that are coming through our program about how it's helping them with so many other things besides just offsetting the use of opioids. So, you know, a healthier, happier population is what we're looking for. And I think government should fund this. I think that the pharmaceutical companies should back right off and stop interfering, and Coastal Health should back off and stop interfering and let this program happen and let it be funded by government. And anybody that's in that situation of using or addicted to opioids, they should get cannabis provided to them at the taxpayers' expense. I think everybody that's on disability, if they could use cannabis in all of its variety of forms, if it helps them, that should be part of the program that the government funds, and we'd save a lot of money, and we'd have a happier, healthier population. So I hope that's where this ends up down the road.
Beautiful. Good job. Yep. Good work, Neil. So I think that's it for the show today.
All right, wait.
We did the whole thing.
I got long show.
We got more.
I got one more thing
What
for
do you
sure
got,
to
Macho
say.
Camel?
JB,
Let me put my glasses on for this.
Johnny B. There you go, brother.
Oh, Johnny didn't show. What happened to Johnny?
I know.
He said he was coming too. He's like,
What happened?
He's like, he switched his mind at the end. At first he wasn't coming, and then when he found out, he's like, the big party was happening. He's
I
like,
know.
okay, I'm gonna come, and then he didn't show up.
You know, like he says,
This
Eddie's
guy.
missed it. You said he's missed a couple weeks now.
A few. I would
Right?
say it's more than a couple. It's like 5.
So
we're into months.
where
now.
we getting him,
months.
though? Where are we getting him, brother? I've been sitting the last 3 hours in his chair in just my Speedos. And they're going to be all yours next week, brother. I tell you, it is all yours next week, JB.
But it's gonna be
BC
Carly's.
Bed Gal, yeah. BC Bed Gal is the next one in that seat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She's gonna love that.
We'll wash it. We'll wash it.
Bring a towel. Bring a towel.
It's hot today.
It's very odd.
It was worth extending the show for that, wasn't it?
That is hilarious. All right. Well, we do have, yes, as you know, there's more shows here on Pod TV. Starting tomorrow, every single day now, there's a show on Pod TV, 7 days a week here. That's pretty amazing. So the Saturday show, new and amazing. What's that? Oh yeah, here I can bud cam the boss cam. Boss cam, there she is on the control boards in the control room back there. Tomorrow, high noon. That's 12 a.m. p.m. Is it a.m. or p.m.? p.m. a.m. p.m. 12 p.m. is the afternoon. Yes, you're right.
And that's with Miles and the whole Cannabis Culture staff, apparently.
That is, yes, not just Boss Lissa over there, but also Miles, who was waving around in the window earlier and was also the subject of a question to end the show. So, yeah, tune in. They have an awesome show. It's kind of like the Cannabis Culture Employees Show, the happiest show on Pod TV.
Yes. For sure, brothers and sisters. For sure.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Legends Valley Music Festival.
Legends Valley. Yes.
Go there, Cannabis Cup.
We got it. That's right. Drop all the social media.
About all the events. You can still do, if any vendors want to get in contact, you can still look at biocup.ca. and still sign up there or call me. You'll find our numbers and our emails there.
And if you go to
you
can also, if you go to the cannabiscup.com site, the High Times one, there's a link to your event right through there as well.
Right through there. Tickets are available. There's still camping spots. It's 172 acres. It's room for everybody. Everybody. And I tell you, we'll all have a good time. We'll all have a great time.
Hell yeah.
Lots of different bands, lots of different areas, and lots of different music. And that's what we kind of wanted to create.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to be, and stay tuned for another announcement about it, because there's going to be another announcement coming soon. That's a pretty big announcement. You're going to want to hear this one.
Not going to want to miss it.
So I'm gonna go through the rest of the roster of our Pod TV shows now. It's gonna be we need a title card that we can play on every show, so I don't have to remember them all. So Sunday we have the Royal Hour with Kush Queen. That's at 2 p.m. And then on Monday, the 420 Lifestyle with Carly Marley, who is in studio at the moment, and BC Bud Gal doing an amazing job on Monday. Tuesdays now, our newest addition to the lineup, I believe, is. Oh, you guys are at 4. Yes, that's 4 p.m., as most of our shows are. But yes, 4 p.m. And Tuesday at 4 p.m., Freddie Pritchard, his new show on Pod TV. What is it called? The Great Canadian
Smoke Show.
Yeah, you guys know it.
Canadian Smoke Show.
Great Canadian Smoke Show. Canadian with 2 N's. Canadian. What's that?
Not a D.
And a B. Canadian. Yes, B-N. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, From Under the Influence with Marijuana Man and Friends, Al the Alchemist, and Kush Queen. She's all over the place. And Thursday, Expert Joints with our homie Craig X, who was here earlier on the show. So tune in. That's lots. Of course, we'll be back next Friday. What did I do? Oh, yeah, and Jen, of course, is Craig's co-host. Oh, I can't forget that Jen is the co-host of the show. Craig is just so overwhelming.
You need these, brother, to be a little cooler. You need these to be a little cooler. Just smooth it out.
Yes, you're right.
You're okay.
You're right. I want to get a pair of my own. Yeah.
It's a challenge when you've got the 7 shows.
Yeah, it's only 7. I should be able to remember. Now I need a hat. I need the whole outfit. I need sequins. I don't have on my nice Adidas jacket any sequins, but I might get some put on actually.
I can help you with that.
Carly can sew some sequins on for me. That would be pretty cool. All right. We love you, Pod TV. We'll see you next Friday. Drug peace.
Peace.
Bye.